Guys, welcome to the Closing Acumen. Welcome. We are just getting ready. Sorry that we started so late today, but again, welcome. We welcome as we begin today's program. It's turned out to be a great program. A lot of things happening in Liberia, so we welcome you, folks. Welcome to the Closing Acumen. As you make your way, share the button, share, and let's begin this all important show, guys. Closing Acumen. Just getting ready. Yeah, so let's get this going. The other guys will soon be joining us. Timlin George, hi, Dr. Howard Jones. Good to see you, Dr. Jones, and welcome to the Closing Acumen, Dr. Jones. It's a pleasure having you on the Closing Acumen. It's good to see everybody. Uh, welcome to the Closing Acumen, guys. I've been away for uh, 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 few days. I was in Wolfsburg, Germany, and we were guests at the Liberian Independence Day celebration. It was such a great event. Hopefully, as time go by, I will be showing some photo of the happening in Wolfsburg, Germany. What a great place, and Liberians were very, very receptive, very, very receptive. So we like to welcome you, man. That should make your way to the Closing Acumen. Dr. Jones, welcome. Honorable Obi Harding, following, welcome. James Kayete, always good to see you, James. Welcome. Watching from Dupo Hammer Road. Ruben Kane, Ghanarsville, Monserrato. Welcome, guys. Should make your way. It's my honor to welcome you again to the Closing Acumen. There's a lot happening. Uh, lot happening. There's a lot happening. I just wanted to invite you the president statement today, the press brief statement to the nation. Former President George Weah, the central bank governor, been suspended. Is it fair or is it constitutional? Did President Bouakai act in accordance with the law of Liberia? Did he act in accordance with the act that created the central bank? We want to address all of that today. So as you make your way, just help us as well and share the button. We will be here to keep this going, keep it going. But it was a wonderful time in Wolfsburg, Germany. Liberians from all parts of Europe. It was great to see them, and they were covering our show. They tell me to stay out sometime 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. watching the show. Special shout out as we begin to my friend Pastor King for his warm reception. They were very receptive. Uh, Pastor King was just amazing. He took it me in a way that I did not expect. But thank you, Pastor King, my friend. Good guy, very good guy. Uh, I'd like to also say a special thank to the president there of the European Federation of Liberian Association, Honorable Francis Menza, who was so receptive as well. Mr. Michael Muller, he was such a great man too as well. Very, very receptive. Uh, Khalifa, he was a great guy. Took us around Mayango. Mayango was great. He came from Holland. He was great. So guys, all of you, I want to thank you. Thank you for such a warm reception and hosting us in Wolfsburg, Germany. But again, we'd like to welcome you to the Closing Acumen. There's a lot happening today. Henry, if you guys are there, we are on now. I understand there's a little bit of internet issue uh, with the radio, but they're definitely going to be coming on soon. So we'd like to welcome you. But yeah, this is what happened in Liberia. We saw recently the president making some uh, suspending some folks. Uh, some folk got indicted. Former Finance Minister, Samuel Twe, uh, former security advisor, were indicted by the government of Liberia. And so we want to make sure uh, that we bring this to you. So as you make your way, we will bring it to you live, guys. We want to bring it to you live today from the walls of the closing acumen. Tomlin George will be joining us shortly. A lot of folks will be joining us shortly. So just hit the share button. Welcome, Jeremy Pelina. Welcome, Jeremy. Uh, Papi Keita. Say good evening. CDC Pop Success from the Duper Road. As you make your way, welcome again to the closing acumen. Henry, where you guys at? A couple of stuff I want you guys to put up, but yeah, we are here. And the news and the news and the news. And let me, Henry, if you guys could put up some of those newspaper, that will begin reading it until you guys come on. That would be great. And I'm also going to send you guys some stuff to upload as we chat or get together for a few minutes. So I'm going to send you guys some photos as we chat for a few minutes. So, but Henry, where are you guys? Where are the guys in the back? Where are the guys at? And so, but yeah, we want to just make sure that the program is online, and we keep it going. We got to keep it going, guys. Keep it going. John J, one way. Welcome, John J. Hit the share button, guys. Hit the share button. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Our friends. Yeah, so we back. We had the opportunity to visit the Berlin Wall in Germany. We had the opportunity to visit. Also, the Audi factory. Volkswagen factory. Yeah, in Germany. But it was a beautiful speech. The guest speaker was Senator Conney, and I can tell you, man, he gave a beautiful speech at the occasion. Talking about uniting Liberians, and Liberians should come together and unite. He talked about the rule of law that has been forgotten in Liberia. But again, man, as you make your way, welcome to the closing acumen. Welcome. And so most of our fans, it was a unique program. Tomlin George is in the back. He's soon be joining us. Darlington Tulape. Welcome, Darlington. Welcome to the closing acumen. Closing acumen is here live to stay, gentlemen. So no turning back. No turning back. But there's a lot of things happening in Monrovia today. Let me see what I can bring you some of those news, because it seems like the guys in the studio are still having some technical problem. We are still waiting for them. What's the link? Should be in that though. Let me see, Professor Kennedy. I think the link is in the back. I can also post it. Yeah. Professor. Hi, Christian. How are you? Welcome, Christian. Welcome, everybody. let's get this started. I will just begin with some of the news that have been happening until we can hear from the guys in the studio. But a lot been happening, and then yeah, there's a lot. Just trying to get the news organized. The different newspaper, what's going on. So, but we haven't seen that yet. Uh, but as you make your way, there's a lot to talk about. Our grand host, Timlin George, will be joining us shortly. So we just ask you to hit. We want to thank some of you, a lot of you guys who contributed to our uh, Independence Day gift. Some of you guys gave, and we're very honored to share with the guy uh, 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 in Liberia for they've been a great help to us. So you guys help us to share it. So we want to appreciate you. Thank you for your gift to the closing acumen. All those who donated, thank you. We're getting to Liberia. Okay, see, Maggie Frank, the show is not on air on the radio, Truth FM. Yes, they said they were having some technical problems. We're trying to reach out to them. They have been having some technical problems, so hopefully they will come shortly. Thank you, C. Maggie Frank, for letting us know. But we know there's a technical problem. They're working on it. That should be resolved shortly. So hopefully they will come on. So, but we should also be coming on at FM. So hopefully uh, uh, they will bring us on. But what a great day, guys! Again, thank you, all those who gave to our Independence Day gift in Liberia. I want to say thank you. But we are here, and Professor Kennedy, Tommy George, Lofa Julius, Grace God, Robert Gagua. Others will be joining us soon as we talk about uh, the happenings in Monrovia. We listened to the president speech today. I mean, he gave a I don't know whether it was a press conference, whether it was an address to the nation, but one of them, the president gave because he didn't take any questions. So, but it was one of them. Okay, Professor Kennedy is backstage. Ooh, I don't see it though. Let me see something here. So I don't see it. I think it's the wrong link. Though. Let me get another one, Professor. I don't think it's the wrong link. Okay, I don't know which. Let me get it wrong. Another one though. Yeah, I'm not seeing. I think it's the wrong one. Let me get another one, Professor. So, let me get it back to you. Yes, yes. Yes, so guys, please keep sharing. We are on YouTube as well. You know, on YouTube as well. So yeah, let's make sure I got the right link in the chat room. But I mean, the President Weah, former president of Liberia, uh, said that they will resist government and former. Okay, Ansu Salib, it says your device not connected. Okay, let's see. All right. But yeah, what it said today? It said that President Weah threatened to resist government. Former President George Weah said that the Congress for Democratic Change will use a political and legal means to strongly resist the Barker administration. The political leader of the opposition party accused the government of alleged harassment and removal of civil servants from Peru. The excessive use of force against citizens resulting in several deaths and violation of the procurement law of the country, among others. The Unity Party can be assured that the CDC will use all legal political means at its disposal to resist uh, uh, this move to weaponize the country's judicial system to its selfish advantage. Yet, Mr. Barker, your action to politicize justice will be resisted and resisted strongly, according to the news, according to President Weah. The opposition leader statement comes days after the government indicted, arrested, and sent to jail some key former officials of government, including Samuel Twer, who was indicted, hasn't been arrested. But former Minister of Finance, uh, Development Planning, consider Nancy Twan, former acting Minister of Justice, Stanley S. Ford, former Director of the Financial Intelligence Agency, D. Moses P. Cooper, former Controller of the Financial Intelligence Agency, and uh, Jefferson Camo, former National Security Advisor, for charge of economic sabotage, for charges of economic sabotage, theft, and illegal disbursement and expenditure of public money, theft of property, criminal felicitation, and criminal conspiracy. Addressing supporters Wednesday at the CDC headquarters in Monrovia, we are we are iterated that the government must desist from what he called cherry picking audit report. The former president used the occasion to call on supporters of the opposition to be prepared to take unspecific action against the government. Wow, that was President Weah message today. So I don't know what is going on, but that was the president message today, and we are still looking forward to see what else going to happen. Too many Josh, welcome, man, welcome.
Hey, the body, what's up, man? How's everything going?
Good. Going well. So,
Yeah.
well, that I think we have a breaking news, Tony.
Yeah.
It said President Bouaka reactivate the economic management team, appoints acting CBL governor. It said the executive mansion, moreover, President Joseph Nima Bouaka has activated the economic management team. The team is expected to ensure coordination of the government fiscal and monetary policy, the acceleration of economic reform in building a robust and resilient economy, and strengthening existing regulation, as well as improve oversight function of the ministries, agency, and commission. The team will also serve as a think tank on economic matter, proffer solutions, will tackle economic uncertainty, especially immediate policy intervention, and improve implementation of the public financial management law in ensuring transparency, accountability for the attainment of a REST agenda for inclusive growth. The economic management team will be chaired by the president and members, the Minister of Finance and Development, Executive Governor of the Central Bank Liberia, Commissioner of the Revenue Authority, the Minister of Commerce, Industrial Transportation, Chairman of the National Investment Commission, the Economic Advisor to the President. In a related development, President Bouaka has named Mr. Henry Samo as acting governor of the Central Bank of Liberia. These appointments take immediate effect. President Bouaka called on those appointed to continue to demonstrate diligent integrity, professionalism, loyalty, service of the country. Is Henry Samo his nephew?
Well, I heard Henry Samoa is very close to the president. Very very close to the president, and there's raising a lot of concern though. In fact, we've been hearing about that appointment for a long time, and yeah, he's very close to the president. But no, the people look, I don't know, man. Look, it makes you sick. What's happening in our country is so sick. First of all, let me say this. Let me be clear. I'm one of those who's I'm not against audit at all. For anyone who betrayed the public trust and so to speak, if you undermine the public trust by taking money that belongs to Liberian people and pocketing it, I think you should be held accountable. You should be held accountable. You should face the law. You should be prosecuted. Let me make it clear. What I'm against is to cherry pick. I think the president would have done a good. He would have done justice to everyone if he has said, "Look, let's audit. Let's start." And the audits are there, though. The audits are there from the audit reports from the earlier administration, the Weah administration. They're all there. The audit was done by people that we are appointed. So I think the audit reports from the time Bwaga was vice president and Ellen was president should be part of this. Should all of this indictment, if anyone was found guilty, should be part of this indictment. But to go after your predecessor officials and to create this situation what people are saying is witch hunt and so forth, I think you are making it more complicated. I think it would have been a good thing if you said, look, we're going to audit from 2006 to 2023 that I already put looking at. Honestly, if that was the case, we'll celebrate Bwaga. We'll celebrate that Bwaga say, yeah, okay, Bwaga is really taking this thing the right way. But if you just looking at the past government alone and leaving other people out, that's what people are now saying is witch hunting. But if anyone who betrayed the trust of the people, yes, I believe you should be held accountable. But to come up and just setting with the people, and what I can understand is that I see some of our friends from the UP, they are celebrating, and these very guys, all of them benefited from the CDC guys. No, make no mistake. There's some of them I used to be at McGill house at night. They were all there, helping in the place when they rent, their children's school fees, and all kinds of things. They benefited from the likes of Twe, of Koji, for McGill. All these guys, you see them today that are on Facebook, running around, making fun and doing all kinds of stuff. You know, they are there now acting as if they are the more holier than thou. And that's where people are having problem. And I think President Weah's speech he gave today, I would say that if as I look at it critically, it was more like making a case to the international community. Say, look, that's what happened to us. That's what's going on. Because some people say is a speech that try to rally the base, to mobilize the base, to incite them to get the base or incited, whatever the case. But I think it's mostly saying, look, ECOWAS, the African Union, the United States of America, all the international partners, this is what happened since President Bwaga took over. That's what I think I look at. This is how I look at it, and so forth. But I'm afraid that if things are not handled the right way, and people are pushed to the limit, things may get out of control. And here's my fear, that the people. When Ellen was president, Ellen was lucky to have more than 18,000 foreign troops in Liberia. They were in Liberia for 12 years of her presidency. And today we have our national police, our military, and the immigration. And mind you, these institutions, the paramilitary institutions, are not they're not just for one group of people. You got people that love the other political actors, other political institutions. So, and if people start to ferment or trouble in the country to resist and do whatever the case, it may escalate and things may get out of hand. So, and I see people there, instead of them saying, speak with wisdom and say, look, let's make sure that what we are doing it in the right way, illegally. You're there trying to like front other people, and you don't want to see all of us here, all of us on this platform. We were there for the war. So what happened? You want Liberia to go to that situation, okay? I understand President Baka made a promise to the Liberian people when he was running that when he became president, he would make sure that he will audit the former government and make sure all those who will be involved will be brought to justice. But at the same time, too, take it further. Don't just only target the CDC people. Go after your former government too, that was part of it. Are you telling me that Noka was broken down by the likes of Robert Salif? They broke Noka down. And I see some guys on Spoon. I'll be very blunt. Some guys on Spoon talking about corruption, and they were part of that corruption on Noka. Someone in there making noise, they say they are clean people. They are all part of that corruption on Noka too, but they're trying to act as though they're perfect. So look, I repeat, I'm all for accountability. I'm all for the prosecution of those who betray the public trust. But let us not do it don't not cherry pick to do it. Okay, do it across the board so that everyone will be satisfied. Because now the reason why some of the guys that have been indicted, maybe who may not want to come forward, they have a problem with our justice system. Because what can happen though, when you file a bond, let's assume somebody was indicted, I filed a bond, and then they tell the insurance company and other people say, look, that man bond, he fine, he using your don't honor it. You don't honor it. Then they tell you say nobody want to honor your bond, so to guarantee your bond. So now you end up going to jail, And look, it's something that we should get prepared to watch what's happening, how long it will last, whether it will continue, or after because don't forget now, we're talking about the trucks first. No, it started with 10-year people. 10-year issue now go down. It started with then it went to the trucks, it gone down. Now it came out to the orator, it gone down. Now we're on indictments. Okay. And after that, who knows what will happen? And again, I heard today that there will be more indictments coming. Let's see how it plays out. But for me, I just feel that they should approach it holistically and shouldn't be shooting cherry pick. That's my initial comments on this whole thing.
Yeah, Tony, Professor Kennedy, welcome, and Julius, good to see you, brother. This is two-way. I believe in accountability. I believe that those who were involved in investing in government money, they should be brought to justice. But I also feel they should not be cherry, picking. I mean, you talk about 23 audit. Uh, there was some audit there since 2023 or since 2017. I mean, but you had a government who could not take action against those people. They couldn't bring the people to justice. I just see this a two-way. When Ellen came to power, there were some people who were persecuted. I still remember Brooklyn. I think his name is Albert Brooklyn. He was arrested. I think the only one that went to jail. When President Weah came to power, we saw the weeks from the central bank. We saw Ellen's son being arrested and in yellow suit and handcuffs and stuff like that. So for what I'm going to put in a layman term, I mean, what goes around comes around. But I think if there is an audit and people they can come up with credible facts that some of these people really misappropriated government fund, I think they should be brought to justice. I don't think it should be. You should not be trying to just go after a particular group of people or because you want to go after them. But I think if there's the evidence of these people, then. But I also have issue with the central bank. Did President Weah act in accordance with the law of the central bank? Did he act in that? I would say no. And then the new person he just appointed, there are rumors around that this guy is his nephew related to him. This started coming up about a week and a half ago. So it seemed like the government, Liberia is just what it is. I mean, we'll see these arrests coming out and it goes nowhere. Really, nothing happened and they go to court. Do you have the evidence to all these forensic audit that you completed? Do you have real evidence to present in court? Maybe not. You just going around arresting people again. So that's Liberia for me. That's Liberia for me. That's all I got to say. You know. Julius and Professor Kennedy.
Well,
Look,
oh, happy Wednesday, guys. Great to be here. A lot of things happening over the past couple of days that hopefully we can unpack and hopefully educate our people on, as far as the issue of transparency, accountability, and what we hope for in Liberia. Great to be here again to discuss national issue. Great to have our audience on here, guys. As you come on, do us a favor, just share the podcast. I believe we are on YouTube as well. So those of you that are following from YouTube, we appreciate you for being here, and as well as we appreciate your general contribution. Let me not go any further before I acknowledge all of you who contributed to the guys back home for the July 26th celebration. I want to believe they truly appreciate your contribution, and we can't say any more than what the guys back home, how they felt about your contribution. And it is because of people like yourselves that often come on here, because you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be right here because you believe in value. The quantity or the quality of work that is presented here is what brings you here every day. It's not much of the quantity. So you don't focus much on the number. Instead, you focus on the quality of presentation and education that is provided here. And that's why you often come on this platform to be a part of it. So thank you for the generosity. Thanks for being so kind and often being a part, and as well said, sharing the show as well. Regarding the recent incidents, that continue to happen, most specifically the issue with the indictment. I said to somebody earlier today while I was at work, I had a conversation with one of the previous government officials whose name I'm not going to mention. And I upfront said to them, I believe sincerely in transparency, accountability, because throughout your tenure, when you serve in government, Liberian cried continuously asking you to which often just it takes away from the purpose for which people invited you to be a part of the governance of the nation. You were never invited to just maintain the status quo, and that is what happens ever so often. Previous government did the same thing. Now this government is doing similar. Will we actually get something out of our taxpayers' money? Because the entire process, remember, taxpayers is taxpayers' funds that are being used to proceed with all of these things. If it is genuinely done so that justice, accountability, and all of these good act of governance are exhibited, then I support it. But as we get into the conversation, there are a few things. Tamali highlighted some of the things earlier. He mentioned the fact that people who were in government yesterday, all right, are today pretending to be angels, referencing themselves as saints. Yesterday, you were part of the problem. 12 years ago or more, you contributed to the system, the corrupt system that got us here in the first place. The reason why President Ware was elected. So who are you to now sit and pretend to be the holy Messiah? You're not. You don't possess the moral rectitude to even attempt to do that. And that's part of the reason why I think hopefully today we will just get into that part of the conversation and just point out some of the hypocrisy in the entire process. Nevertheless, every Liberian support the idea of accountability, but in doing it, let us be transparent in the process so that we can fight corruption. We cannot eradicate corruption in Liberia, but I think it can be quarantined, and that is what we fight for.
Professor?
Yeah, thanks so much, Doc. So my name, Lofa. Yeah, happy Wednesday, my friends. So yeah, I mean, a couple of things. In fact, real quick. So 10 years ago on this day, this was the day that the Americans sent that plane to evacuate its citizens because of Ebola, right? So this was like the onset of where you find a nation taking care of its people. And I bring up the point of taking care of its people because that is what the government is meant to do. The government is there to serve the people. So the whole business with the arrest and things like that, I think you just have to follow the law. We understand, and mind you now, we understand that there's no impartiality, right? They're not being impartial in certain respect. You know, the kind of, you can't have selective justice where you're picking and choosing who to prosecute, who to jail, and all that stuff, because that's not going to work. Because that is, in fact, part of the definition of witch hunt, right? But if you're going to do it where you're saying, okay, and I think this is what Chief said earlier, you probably mentioned it as well, Doc. If you're going to set a time frame where you say, okay, look, starting from 2005, let's take a look at all the audit reports and let's go ahead and start pursuing everybody based on that. Because what happens is you're including yourself. You know, it's like the old saying, you don't start taking the coal out of somebody's eye if you take the coal out of your own eye first. You got to start with yourself with an introspect. You got to look at yourself first. And then when you look at the other people, they'll say, oh, that person is fair. So include not just the previous administration, but the administration before that, and do it in such a way that it is free of influence. But we know our judicial system is weak, right? So the judicial system is weak, so it creates some sort of a caution. But President Weah's speech was something that I don't know if his speech was just meant to motivate his supporters, his base, because that speech was more of something where he was kind of talking to his base and saying, oh, you know, they're doing this to us. It shouldn't be like that way. He should have kind of taken it up a higher level. What I mean by that, look, governments change, there's transition. So even though you may not be able to get everything you want right now, but 2029, your turn will come, because I think when you had an opportunity, when people were saying audit the past government, you didn't listen. So now they're hitting you with it and you're feeling that burn. When you come around again, if you are blessed and lucky enough to come around again, it will be lesson learned. You will have that lesson. So now the first thing you do when you come in, you probably will most likely do an audit. So, I mean, we understand the judicial system is weak. We understand it's not partial. It's not impartial. You know, you can't have selective justice. But if you look critically at this audit report, in fact, the audit report wasn't done by this administration, right? So if you look at it critically, you have to say, well, let this play itself through. I understand what Samuel Twa is saying, witch hunt, you know, they all use that as a means to say, you know, they're being singled out. But man, just how we had the whole 17 billion debacle, and when you look at the Crow's report, where it said those 6 teams could not account for millions of dollars and nothing was done about it. It's the same way when you pay close attention to this audit report. There's some shady stuff going on. So let it play itself out. Let's not use this witch hunt thing because nobody is just pulling things out of the thin air. They are using a report that your administration created. So you are sanctioned by the US government. Your own government right now, or your own people right now, are indicting you and bringing charges up against you. It's not a witch hunt. let it play out. Just come out, defend it, explain what happens. You should have an explanation for every line item in that audit report. So that whole business of witch hunt is a diversionary technique people tend to use so they can be able to explain themselves. It would make their supporters kind of feel emboldened. Oh, they're targeting our men. No, they're not targeting you. Your people wrote that report. So that's just my piece, man. I mean, it's starting somewhere. So let's see where it leads.
Yeah, the prophet probably made some good,
Very strong, Professor.
I talked to somebody today, one of the people involved. I said, look, and honestly, right? And guess what? Yeah, Prof, that what I think Lofa said it, alluded to it too when he was talking. But it's what's happening. And there's some people want to settle scores. Okay, they want to see Samuel Eto'o handcuffed, paraded, put in a pickup back, and sent to jail. Look, even okay, 12 come tomorrow, he tell himself, right? That some people just want to see him happy, to see him, bugger, the guy in that handcuff him, put him in the pickup bag, send him to prison. Even if you file a bond, they'll say, oh, the idea they want to see you go to jail. So like you see, if I will repeat, I'm all for this for the accountability and the rule of law. But if the thing is that if just you want to score political point, you want to see somebody to denigrate and disgrace the person or all that, and somebody telling you in private. That's somebody telling you in private how they want to see happen, okay, and so forth. So again, because under the law, if you are considered innocent until you are proven guilty in a court of competent jurisdiction or by a jury of your peers, whatever the case, okay. But again, if you want to settle score to see Tourmaline, I want embarrassed. I want to see that scenario. I want to see, and then it makes you say, that's what they're trying to do, But look, like you said, the audit report. I read the report. I'm not a financial person. I have somebody the person, financial expert, will look at it. Say, Tourmaline, these things are serious reports, and they think these things were done by people that were appointed by the former regime, the former president. And then, don't forget now, the LACC, the past government, they amended the LACC Act that strengthened the LACC. They get in and de facto quasi prosecutorial powers. They gave to them. You see, so like Verdier, the former LACC boss said, the present LACC that we had brought left when he left office was more stronger than the one when he was there on Ellen. So he said, I wish I had that one when I was there. So they gave them. So now the question is, the very people that you appointed, they're the one who came up with the indictment for the Justice Ministry and said you guys should be held for these things. So now, yes, like somebody said today, I was disappointed the president there, he gave a measured speech, but I thought he would have taken question. I thought the place he would have taken question to double down on the speech he gave. Usually with that kind of speech, take some question from the journalist, and then you double down on your context of your speech that you made. But just give speech and walk away from the microphone. I don't think it served right to. So I'm taking some questions to break it down. But right now, some people are listening to the speech. Some people say the president gave marching orders to do this, do that. They're taking it differently. And I think me personally, we would have said, look, okay, give the officials then say officials will be accorded a due process. Yes. I will encourage them to come forward or so forth, But again, just to settle political school where the just want to see somebody handcuffed, because honestly, you don't want to handcuff somebody and parade them, put them in pickup truck like what I saw them doing yesterday to these guys. I mean, the former Solicitor General, the former National Security Advisor, handcuff the guys there, they put them in the back of the pickup and drive them through. I mean, that's look. If the person resisting a different thing, the person trying to escape and you catch them, a different thing. But just to parade them and denigrate them, you make everybody say, imagine they're doing it to that person. Me, I wanted the target. He might want to do to me too. And but look, like we're finally saying, we all offer this, go for it, but let it be done holistically, not cherry picking. I mean, that's
And, like what Professor said, they had the chance. President we had the opportunity for 6 years. There were audits. There were things you could have done. Bringing some of the UP folks to justice. He didn't do it. I mean, I don't agree with some of the folks that are on social media, like the Dillon and others who are writing nonsense on their pages, uh, talking about corruption. And they all corrupt. But wait until the audit is Senate. How much money Dillon himself have received? Others have gotten. But the fact is, why didn't they take the action? Why did the CDC not audit those people? The city government not audit those people? They had it. I mean, it's like a play. It's like a replay. I'm watching. I'm seeing right now, because all of these things were going on in the CDC government. I mean, they arrested people. They paraded them on the streets. You know, so for me, the president message today, I think he should have waited and see what come up, what happened. I mean, there's the law, there's a government. I don't trust them. The people who are there now to make decision and calling on, for audit to be done. I don't trust them. Honestly, they're corrupt. But I think the president need to give it a chance, a new government. And if you had evidence against them for all the money and this stole, and you did nothing, and they come in and say, we got everything against you, then what are you blaming it? You were sitting there all along. There was nothing you were doing. You overlook it. Now they're coming after you and say, we're going to start from your government. So how can the UP go by and audit themselves? I mean, and said that, bring.
I'm interrupting you, but people, there are audits that was done. Okay, they did audits, right? The GSC had a job to do the. I think the Professor Kennedy know about how the financial system work. You do the audit systems, periodic audits and so forth. They've been doing it, but I think the audit report had been sitting on a shelf there, sitting down there, and nobody have nobody went after it. So I think the audit. So UP said, well, the ones that the ones that we feel that we comfortable that we're going to go for, and took it, and they went for. But if you audited the past government, especially, there's no reason why Nuka, that the former president said, I take the blame for Nuka. I take the blame. So see nobody in jail for Nuka today. I mean, then there were people come and say,
Yes.
when I watch our room, police say, police are mad because now it making me mad because why would we let the girl get off the hook? He let the get off the hook. They put coming after the pool and then one get vest.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So, but Dr. P, Sarah Timberlake.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. The only problem here that I personally look at the We Are administration, like you rightfully said, you highlighted that part of it to say, why didn't you act? You had the authority, okay? Again, everything was under your jurisdiction. Why didn't you act accordingly? No one was asking you to, in quotation, witch hunt anybody. You had the audit reports. They were provided. You attempted. But again, you failed because you did not have the political will. Okay, you did not have the political will because you were afraid. Again, because heavily you felt like a lot of the people in your circle were incompetent. So you were afraid that if you attempt to go after the previous perpetrators, the thieves, as we should reference them, they probably would have had a better rebuttal for all of your accusations. So you ran away from your responsibility. So in this case, this is what the UP is doing now. UP is politically looking at it and say, you know what? We can win political points here. Legally, if we pursue these guys, we are actually living up to our campaign promises. Regardless of how we do it, the public will not look at that. Because at this point, the people are very sentimental. They're simply just buying into it because they say, everyone talk about how corrupt Liberia politicians are, how corrupt government officials are. So the mere attempt to pursue them vast majority of the population will appreciate it. If you read some of the comments on here, people are agreeing. Even seditionists are saying, thank God that these guys are being sought out and hopefully they serve jail time. But if you're to look at both sides of the coin, I say this to you, both sides have no moral rectitude to even stand up and talk about corruption, not to even speak of trying to pursue anybody. Nevertheless, we embrace, encourage, and support the idea of transparency and accountability. Let them be, sought out. Let them be prosecuted and set that precedent that President Weah and others failed to set today. I'm not paying attention to President Weah's speech that he read today. Let the government do her part. When he's opportune, God forbid, to come back, he can act upon whatever he wants to do. Until then, let the government act accordingly.
I want to ask Professor Kennedy a question.
Right.
Well, Professor Kennedy, I mean, that's your area of finance. Okay, look at the other report that you have been perusing. What your attention is focused on our report to say, well, as an auditor, say, well, this where the government have a strong point, or this where those have been indicted, this where they have their strong point. Where in a report you say, well, with this, the government's point is they have a very strong case. With this, the indictees they're gonna get this. They will be the defense. I mean, if you're looking at how will you describe that report?
So I'm not on mute, right? Okay, so that's a great question. So let me put it this way to make it easy for everybody to understand. So imagine you're working for a company. The company tell you, say, we're going to fire you on Friday. Today is Wednesday. They tell you they're going to fire you on Friday. You'll be like, oh, but you're going to fire me on Friday? And imagine that you are the financial man for the company. You're the treasurer for the company. And they tell you they're going to fire you. You're not putting good, solid years in the company. Most people would take exception to that. They would be angry. They would want to retaliate, or they want to do something to make sure they're not walking away without nothing in their hand. So this is what the audit report, anybody, you don't have to be no mathematician or financial guru. You will know something is up when I tell you this. Guess what will grab your attention in the audit report? So the line that says the basis for adverse conclusion, right? The reason why they're doing the audit and saying these things, here's the first thing that grabbed your attention. They say the central bank financed the government of Liberia payroll, listen to the date, on November 30th of 2023. Right around the time, the election, we know they already lost the election. They're about to leave. November 30th of 2023, they go ahead and finance the payroll of $50.2 million. That is in violation of Article 34 of the Constitution that says only the legislature can approve for you to do something like that. You give no accounting of how you spend that $50.2 million. We know you're on your way out. Where is the $50.2 million? That's the first thing you look at the audit report. You say, man, these guys were cleaning house. They were packing up. Like in finance, we say the man is looking for his golden parachute because he's about to jump out of the plane. You want to make sure he lands softly. The second thing, Chief, that will catch your attention. And first of all, the central bank is not there to do deficit financing, meaning you spend more money than you took in. And now you're going to go to the central bank to print money so you can finance your deficit. That's illegal. The IMF told them not to do that. The central bank is not there for you to simply go run, grab some money to go pay payroll. That's not your piggy bank. That's not what the central bank is for. But they did $50.2 million on November 30th. Here's the other thing they did that grabbed people's attention. They decided, not only did they do the November 30th, $50.2 million, but 3 weeks later, they run back to the central bank December 23rd, and they pull out $32 million. So they pulled out a total of about $82.5 million in a period of what, maybe 30 days with no ratification, without the legislature saying it's okay. Wasn't this the same issue we had when money was being printed and the legislature weren't informed about it? You can't do that. It's in violation of Article 34 of the Constitution. So right away, it's going to grab your attention. These guys are collecting money from the central bank without telling the legislators, and they're saying they use it to pay payrolls. They're saying they use it to pay loans that were owed to the government. Who are the people that made these loans to the government? I remember this came up, and some of the people out there were asking. I know Darius Dillon doesn't have a lot of big fans over here, but Dillon at one time was asking, let's see the list of people who you claim have loaned money to the government. We've never seen that list of people who loan money to the government. Now we know when Kroll did the report, these guys had I like to call it the SEAL Team 6, because that team supposedly went out there, was giving money to money changers that did not exist. So we know they have a tendency to kind of fabricate who they're lending money to. Go ahead, Chief.
So, but let me stop you there. Okay, but that's what this is what I heard though. That money that they asked for, right? It was the fear that there will be national security implications, especially with people not taking pay around the holiday. So people are taking pay. So what they issued these checks out for the commercial banks. Now, so the money you talk about, the 50 million and the one that came at 82 million, the central bank were able to reconcile, because when the commercial banks made these payments to the government, to the civil servants, they were able to reconcile with the central bank. Okay, so the checks they issue, the central banks, when they check it, the exact amount you talk about, they reconcile with the central bank's figure. So it wasn't like to say that they took it and pocketed it. It was used for salaries, but they don't have money at the time. But now the IMF, IMF is against what they did though. IMF say, if there's no money, don't overdraft, don't do it, don't issue, don't pay. But they said because of national security implication, that's why they asked for that for that amount. But then after they cashed these checks for cash, it reconciled with the central bank the exact amount that was requested. Central bank reconciled with it. So the money in question, it wasn't like you say they took that amount of money and pocketed it. Okay.
So let me ask you this question.
Okay, go ahead.
So why didn't they get the approval of the legislators to do that? Okay. Because the law, you can't go run into the central bank arbitrarily, unilaterally. You can't go by yourself and do it, because part of the audit report is saying it's a violation of the Constitution. If you know what you're doing is on the up and up, it's clear and legal, go through the legislator legally and get that done. Why didn't they do that? Because that's part of the contention in the audit report. The contention is you didn't get legislators' approval, so that by itself is a violation of the Constitution, and is a grounds for you to be arrested. You broke the law.
It's okay, yeah. They don't want the legislature, but then if it is proven, the central bank reconciled the amount that was requested, is reconciled with the central bank. You think any crime was committed there?
Then that's just the reason why it needs to be litigated. This is the reason why it needs to be adjudicated. This is the reason why you need to come to court and not say it's a witch hunt, because why? You can do the reconciliation between the CBL and the Ministry of Finance Consolidated Accounts. You know you get the proof. You know it. Look, listen. When the proof is on your side, you have nothing to fear.
Right.
There you go. That's exactly the point. That brings me to the question as to why then is Twitter actually what one would say escaping. I hate to use the word escape, but in all honesty, why is he not availing himself to be questioned about these things? But Professor Larry, you spoke specifically about a portion of the Constitution, right? Article 34. And it clearly states that. I just want to read that for the sake of our listening audience. And this is what it clearly states, right? It said, no money shall be drawn from the treasury except in consequence of appropriation made by legislative enactment. Right? So, Tamerlane, in short, not to kind of bore us with this whole interpretation of the law, what is stated in the Constitution was purposely done so that things done are regulated. You know, the former of the law did not just simply say, oh, let us get together and write. Not because they like to write articles. Instead, they observed certain things that needed to be enacted. And in order to get that done, that's why they crafted the Constitution. It's the law that governs the state. Nobody can just simply ignore that. So if you did something that was against it, guess what's going to happen? You should be prosecuted. And of course, that means that there's something wrong. Let it be investigated if your intention was right. Like human, we all make mistakes all the time. All the time, we all make mistakes, regardless of what you do, where you are. If you did it with good intention, and it appeared to have been against what was, what was actually written in the Constitution, go and make the case, and let's see what becomes of it. But don't simply say, "Oh, it can be done." No, I think that they all should go through the entire process. They should go through the investigation, and whoever is found guilty should be prosecuted, and then that should set some kind of precedence for all of them. And it should not be. My only concern here is, and then Professor Larry, you can come through on this one. Is I hate for this to be a target only within a specific time frame, and then using the fact that, hey, this is well within our time, or this is well within our comfort zone as to what we can implement. That just in itself, it makes it sound a little fishy. If they are willing to go back and act upon previous audit reports, then I think they are footing on the right trend. But if they simply just on the CDC, then I think we are walking in the wrong direction thus far. And I don't think President Weah and the rest of the guys will sit back and allow it to happen. And this is why he's now coming out to say, you know what? No one else is speaking for us. They're not going to speak for us because it appears as though we are the target going forward. So we will speak for ourselves, and we will protect those who are considered within our domain.
Professor, before you come in, I think that UP not going to bring an audit that we actually have done. They're not going to bring it up, especially on the UP government. They're not going to come and say, hey, we're going to do this ourselves. We have had every opportunity to audit these people. He did not do it. Do I trust the people in charge? No. But the fact is, this is exactly what CDC did too. The fact is, they talk about they removing people from their job. CDC did the same thing. They took away the government at the time. They removed them. Okay? You talk about them going to offices and bringing in partisans and removing other people from there. They all did the same thing. So it's just a circle that's going on right here. So let's be honest here. This is the same thing. Everything that you see happening right now in the UP government, CDC did. There was some very professional trained EPS officer they removed. There was students that the United Party government has sponsored in different countries. They went there and got their undergraduate degree. They were all removed from position, and who replaced them with CDC? And that's what we see happening right now. Professor, you can come in. I just want to lay that out there.
No, you're right. This is the thing that I believe the public in large was asking the previous administration, to audit the previous government. And it was never done. Because like what Chief Tomalin just mentioned, how you can have NorCal go bankrupt and don't think there was something fishy going on? How you can have people robbing business people, foreign business people, the Korean people? I think there was some incident, was it at Metal Steel or somewhere that there was alleged money stolen by Fumba Salif and his mom paid for it or something like that. There was a whole lot of shenanigans going on. For all of these things, then people weren't prosecuted, and they were asking Weah when he came in to have these guys audited, but he never did it. So now we may not like it, but President Boycott said he was going to do it. In fact, and he's doing it, and then he got pissed off. The man told you, he said, when I get in there, we'll audit the previous government. You believe it? Well, now you get to see. But I see my man Alvin Logan making some salient points and putting out some very good comments. Do we trust the system? We know the judicial system is weak, right? But at some point, let somebody be the first mover. So President Boycott said, look, people have been talking about this thing. I'm going to roll the dice and let's see what happens. We can all say that it's not partial, it's not impartial. It's got all of these shady things to it, but it is what it is. But you know what Alvin is saying? You guys remember I mentioned this thing the second that I heard.
Yes,
The second that I heard, that the president has.
I read it in the chat room. Yes.
Exactly. I said, if you search the act that created the central bank, there's no way in that act that it says anything about suspension. You cannot suspend the central bank governor. In fact, because the Central Bank of Liberia was built using the same model like the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, right? The U.S. Fed, it's about 12 districts of the Federal Reserve System, started back on December 23rd of 1913. And there are specific sections that said you cannot remove the Federal Reserve chair because you didn't want the executive to influence the monetary policy. So you can only have the Federal Reserve Bank chair impeached. It's like having a Supreme Court justice put on trial and removed for doing something illegal. So unless I missed it, but if you look at the act that created the central bank, I think it is maybe part 4, subsection 13, somewhere in there that deals with removal of the executive, of the governors. He has to be impeached, right? So the Senate has to impeach and remove the central bank governor. The central bank governor cannot be suspended. There's no such thing as suspension in the act that created the central bank. So Alvin, it's something, the second I saw it, I knew there was something wrong about it because I explained this thing. I remember years ago when Mills Jones was running for office or planning to run for president, I remember he was dishing money out to market women, right? And that wasn't the purpose of the central bank, to go out and arbitrarily give money out to market women. And Mills Jones was doing that. And that's when I said, wait a second, that's not the purpose of a central bank. So this whole business of suspension, I think it violates the act that created the central bank. But again, it's just my layman understanding of the.
You're right, though. Other financial people agree with you, though, Professor Kennedy. Even John Malou, I think he just wrote something. Yes, the president, he's not his authority to appoint, to suspend or remove the central bank governor. It should be, impeached or so. So, but there's a lot of fight happening there because I got information last night that the guy who want to be Minister of Finance, this Molly Kamara, who's the economic advisor to President Baka, I heard that here the central bank governor who was suspended is trying to get rid of the 2 deputies at the central bank. I mean, trying to undermine the position, to get rid of them, And I think I don't think Molly Kamara is being fair. I mean, if not, why you want to get rid of people? Nothing nothing with them with other report. They did nothing. They're not involved indirectly. Why you want to get rid of them? I don't think it's fair. But again, we're in different times. There are different times and what's happening, and just not fair. But look, we'll see how this thing plays out. I also learned today there are more indictments coming. I think in the coming days or coming weeks of former officials in the WIA government, including those that are in the Senate and some are in the House. We're gonna see. We'll see the indictments that are coming up. And again, in America, they will say, let's see what the polls will say after President WIA spoke today. Whether his speech moved the needle, but apparently his speech, I was telling someone today in one chat room, I said, maybe the UP guys then they feel in voting because they took to social media and made fun out of the speech and try to make a mockery, a joke with it. So the speech will maybe have moved the needle. They will be saying, well, but I don't see them showing that kind of exhibiting that kind of a behavior. They'll say, well, that takes time how we do things, but instead they're making fun, their own stuff. So I mean, it's like the speech in their own mind, it means nothing.
So Tamerlane, in regards to that aspect of it, right? One thing I want you to understand that the UP entire idea of governance is lies and propaganda.
Oh yeah, they master that.
They They claim to have the technocrats, but these people are empty when it comes to implementation. And if I'm lying, you can do your own, just do your own little survey on the recent performance. All right. You will see that they heavily rely on propaganda, but they don't understand how to truly govern because they feel like the society that we find ourselves in is gullible to some extent that they can easily just maneuver the way with few online posts or appearance on the local radio and bamboozling the way through just spewing out a lot of political jargons that like the lives of Samuel Toy and other people speaking to about finances using all of these jargons without even understanding what he's talking about. So UP actually mastered that craft. But if you're to look at what is happening, we should be questioning ourselves. Why should one break the law to enforce the law? The reason why the United States, the system is so successful to some extent, nobody can say that. I mean, the system here can be scrutinized to some extent. But you understand that the law is enforced to the fullest, hopefully, so that everybody, whether the richest or the poor, can get at least justice to some extent. If the police officer does not recognize what he's supposed to do, the ticket gets thrown out. The judge is within the right to do his own evaluation, his or her own evaluation, and say, no, this is not going to happen. Unfortunately for us in Liberia, it's the complete opposite. Look at what's happening right now. What Professor Larry just spoke to. I'm not a finance guy. Okay, I don't invest my time too much in reading a lot about the governing process when it comes to the financial institutions in Liberia. But based on what Professor Larry just spoke to, it's obvious that this government in herself is just invading everybody else. They're breaking the law with the pretense of making sure that they can apply the law. So you cannot be breaking the law and claiming that you want to make sure that people abide by the law. So you are no different from those who broke the law in the first place. You can't take an armed robber to go and arrest another armed robber. That this is what we're faced with, and that's why we continue to tell Liberians. At this point of the conversation, we should not be discussing CDC and UP for a better Liberia because neither one of them understand true governance. Look at all the people that are coming through. The Grisby that we talk about today, every time good things happen with the UP government, they credit President Boycott for that good thing. I can't count any of the good things on one hand, but when bad things are happening, like the yellow machine and other things, then they want to fault Grisby for all of those things and claiming that it is Grisby who's actually getting these things to happen. So no, we can't. I think at this point, some of us need to be very vocal, a little bit more vocal than what President Weah did today. His decision to come out, I think other opposition political party should have joined them because this is not only about CDC. Let's look at it this way. Let us look at it holistically. Let us look at it not in support of CDC, but let's look at it at good governance. It started with CDC today. It will end with other political party. So let's look at it.
Honestly, Boycott, UP is in power. They have control. They can bring indictment and do what they want to do because they are the government in power. Again, CDC acted reckless. They had the chance to do the same thing. They had a chance. I know CDC will cost me. They can do what they can say what they want to say, but they had the opportunity to do exactly what the UP government is doing. They didn't do it. You know, it was the same old jolly ride. Folks think that they will be in power for 12 years. I mean, when you hear folks talking, they'll say, oh, we're in power for 12 years. 12 years. Y'all got 12 years to wait. 12 years to do things. You know, I think the president's message was very soft today. You know, I mean, what? I didn't get nothing from that because wait until they bring it, if you're found guilty or something, they just indicted people, you know, nothing, they are not going to court, nothing have started yet. And he said they're coming, you know, the situation. I don't trust the UP government. I don't. I mean, the last 6 months, see how much the corruption that is taking place, how much money that they have misappropriate $22 million on roads, the yellow machine, the funding buses and things they wanted to bring in. I don't trust them either. Unfortunately, they are the one in power now. They are the one acting that they are the most transparent group of people. So what we have failed to do, that's why they're going to rub right in his face, because for them, they didn't care what was going on at the time. They didn't care what was going on at the time. They were just doing their own thing. And that's why I'm saying it's a cycle here. The same thing over and over. What happened with our government not happening in the UP government. It's the same thing going over. Have they taken steps, the opportunity to have, even people confessing, say, we'll take responsibility for this. Did they bring anybody to justice? No, the whole thing died. Nothing was done. Nothing. So the same people that you were trying to save, they're coming back after you now to embarrass you and to disgrace you. What do you do in that case? So it's the same thing. But it's person we have stood his ground. I mean, I'll be honest here. There was a lot of corruption in the CDC government. There was a lot of corruption. A lot of things were happening. In fact, things they did not expect to take place were happening. They even his own people. The chairman had plotted. Remember Molukimo and made statements that the president is bringing these people. Position was not awarded on meritorious basis. They were just awarded because you're part of the plot. And we saw the whole thing go. So the same circle. The same thing going on now in the Unity Party government. And they said, well, you know what? Saying he didn't catch up, we will catch him. And that's exactly what happened.
So Doc, Chief, Lofa, and the people watching, let me ask this question. Very important question. If we were to be re-elected, do you think when he come in, he will audit this government?
That's a very. I'll let somebody start with that.
Professor, something? It's just like what happened in America here. Why you think the Democrats are fighting to not get Trump re-elected right now?
Trump gonna retaliate?
No, yeah, because the mistake that Trump even made, that is project 2025. I mean, that God, they reveal it, and now guess what? It makes. Yesterday I heard Trump said the guy they still won't hear, but I stopped somebody on rip it off.
He disowned him.
He said the guy stepped down because
the guy quit.
He review all his plan. What it would do? He take power. So look, right now, that, but like Lofa said, UP and CDC. But again, our country, like one say Labrador, we say Labrador blood can get vexed because, Professor, you had election today. Tomorrow you had the election December. You announce it election December. You put the same people in the race again. I can bet you we are and Boga going for final again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me.
That's not all they are proud. They will say we'll go for final again. So that's our country. So again, look, let's see what happens because now the speech today we're giving. Okay.
Yeah, but one thing that the current government can do to address the issue of witch hunting is to be really transparent, because here are a couple of things in the audit report that you can say, oh, wait a second, if I'm accusing Lofa of, not making, let's say I give Lofa $100 to go buy gas. Lofa comes back and he said, oh, I bought the gas. I said, my man, you didn't buy the gas, but Lofa should be able to prove that he bought the gas, because we can go and check the gas meter in the car. They will show whether gas is in there. He can even show a receipt. So listen to this one. They said some irregularities, right? They said there was a $500,000 contract between the central bank and Vital Trading Limited, Vital, whatever their name is, to train the bank tellers and technicians at the CBL. The audit report says there's no evidence of competitive bidding. Okay. They said there's no contract that was approved by the Ministry of Justice and the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. The MFDP can show if there was a contract. So that's provable, right? If they have it. They said there's no evidence of the work being done. You pay $500,000 to train people. The audit report said there's no evidence. You can come and say, oh, here's the list of people we train. Those are the things that can easily be proven. There's no witch hunting in there. You can prove it. They also said there was payment to M&G Consultants and Equity Management for $120,000 to write a business disaster recovery plan for the CBL. Again, they said there's no contract. There's no evidence of competitive bidding. They said there's no evidence the work was being done. You can call M&G Consulting and say, oh, the people that said you didn't do the disaster recovery plan, oh, can you show it to us? You can prove it. There's no witch hunting. They said there was a contract to another family business for $210,000 for maintenance at the central bank. Again, there's no competitive bidding. So you can be able to prove that you did have competitive bidding. And again, they said there's no evidence. There's no registration for this business, meaning the business does not exist. No tax clearance certificate, nothing. And then they said the value of the contract doubled from $105,000 to $210,000 with no change in the scope of work. So all these things in the audit report, you can easily contest them in court and say, look, my man, all that thing in the audit report is false. You're witch hunting me. Here's my evidence. That's how you prove you're not being witch hunted. You come to court and you deal with it.
I'm sorry, I want to jump in here. Hopefully you can just answer this question for me. With the issue of procurement, all right, having to follow the procurement process, what procurement process do we have? Where is it laid out that could be used to justify the claim? For all I know, I've heard of procurement, but if you were to just make the decision to say, okay, you want to start participating in any form of procurement process for the state of North Carolina, you can pull up that document online. It's available to you. You can review it and understand the process. Unfortunately, if you don't follow the process, often you will not even be considered if you miss one part of it. But continuously, we have always disregarded any form of procurement process in Liberia. So what can we say should be used as a benchmark to say this is the normal procurement process that should have been followed, and this is what you did that actually violated the law of our procurement? How can that actually be substantiated?
So the first thing you do is you go to the PPCC's website. It's there. So if you want to know the rules book for how FIFA operate, you go to FIFA's website, you will see the rules of the game. So if you want to understand the public procurement, concession, commissions, laws and stuff, it's on the PPCC's website. It's right there. But to your point,
that is not
they follow it.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. It's not followed.
It's not followed.
But
and because it hasn't been enforced. It's not followed and it hasn't been enforced.
So, Professor Kennedy, looking at this audit report, do you think, I'm sure you have already perused the entire report, and like Lofa said, some of us who are not in the finance world will not waste our time to really try to go through all that stuff. We just want to get the main things about you who the finance world have already not know it. But tell me, do you think it is a way? I mean, not a way, but do you think, depending on whether you have the good lawyers or what, do you think that those that are indicted, do you think that they will get from other this, able to get from other this, it will be found not guilty if they're saying all things constant, we have the system is not corrupted, nothing. You think they're able to get out of this?
The best part of what you said was all things being equal, all things being constant. In a fair and just system, based on the audit report, somebody gonna go to jail.
Wow.
Somebody better start making arrangements, because in a fair and just system, based on this audit report, somebody would definitely spend time in jail for economic sabotage, because it is way too shady. Because the things that the CDL is meant to do is not even followed, right? People are not abiding to it. People are really breaking the financial laws. And these are things that have been going on, not just, the previous administration, but this successive administration have not been following through with this kind of stuff, right? Going back to what Mills Jones did, he put down some argument that the central bank is allowed to make those kind of loans to market women. And he was doing so right before he tossed his name in the hat to run for election. Of course, he might disagree with me saying that wasn't his intent, but again, the laws are there. But we know the system is not fair. We know some people will try to twist the arms of jurors to find these guys guilty, and maybe these guys myself try to twist the arms of jurors to make them, not guilty. And because this is a criminal case, they have to be found guilty by all of the jurors, right? You can have a holdout. So all they have to do is just convince one juror that this person is not guilty, and they can be vindicated, or they can be set free. But I think the key point you made was, if all things were being constant, the audit report is way too damaging, right?
Wow.
Considering also the prosecutor or the solicitor general would say, well, this audit report came from your guys. It's your people that started writing this audit report. That's not us. So it can be a witch hunt. But again, that Liberia.
Wow.
Professor Larry.
And I think it happened.
Maybe I'm just jumping here because I'm on the PPCC website. I cannot find, I know it just happened within the past 5 minutes, but hopefully you can look from your end. There isn't any listed procurement process on their website, but I'll keep looking. Hopefully I didn't miss it, but I just thought to bring this to the public knowledge. Hopefully they can update their website right now. But I'm looking right now as we talk, and just to kind of share this with you guys, I'm on their website right now and I'm looking. There isn't anything close to the procurement process that you mentioned that should be considered. And I just thought to bring that to your attention. That's another thing that could be taken into consideration, the fact that they don't even have the process published, neither are they following the entire process. I just want to bring that to your attention, but I'll keep looking.
Yeah, so Henry, if you guys have the link, yeah, please send it to Sylvester. He's been trying to get on. I don't know, the link is just difficult. So you guys,
Tell Sylvester I sent it to his messenger.
So look, for us,
His messenger.
we're gonna watch the process play out. I don't know. So far, all those who have been indicted, so how many presidents are still alive? I know for sure that two years in the country, that I know, because I know I talked to him. But how many people are still alive?
I think everyone show up with the exception of Mr. Tuerto. Everyone who was mentioned in that release.
Stanley Ford have not shown up.
Oh, really?
So that the National Security Advisor, former National Security Advisor Jefferson Camo.
To be honest with you, I personally, and I'm not trying to advise. I'm not trying to advise that anybody follow what I'm stating here, but God forbid if my name was mentioned in any of those things, the first route I would take is Harry Costa route. Put me in a carton and send me out of the country. I'm not submitting myself. I'm running out of the country. No, I'm not. No, there's going to be no fair process. Put me in the carton and throw me out of that country.
What I believe, you're right, because
no, seriously, to be honest with you, there would be no fair process.
But the way Professor Cannon thought, I meant to watch the president. Why is he?
Exactly.
But true. Listen, but too many. If I was 12, I was not sure. If I was 12,
but people, I told the man, I said, look, they put one heck up you, put you in the drop back, and one player really put you in the poor player. I said, I'm clear with you.
No, but if only he will get a fair trial, then I'll go. But knowing Liberia,
that's it.
I will not do it. You will not get a fair trial. No, Liberia.
Yeah, but the thing that Lofa just mentioned is interesting because if those people are out of the country and if some of them are in the United States, to extradite them, that's a whole new ball game. That's a different ball game right there, because you can't just go in another foreign country and grab somebody, whether they're a citizen or not, and bring them back. You have to connect with that government, put forth, especially in the U.S. I don't know about Ivory Coast or Ghana, but over here in the U.S., there's a court procedure you have to go through, right? Because even when the U.S. was trying to grab the former finance minister from Mozambique, that guy sat in prison over in South Africa from 2018. I think he sat in prison for like 2.5 years. The U.S. could not get him out of South African prison until I don't know what they did in the background before they finally pulled him out. It was the same thing if we go all the way back in history when Samuel K. Doe said there was embezzlement by Charles Taylor, and Charles Taylor was held at a maximum security prison over in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It took a while. And since Samuel K. Doe never got a hold of him, it was until, and then that's another story, that's another show. But if these people are out of the country, Chief Doc, if they're out of the country, if they're in the US or over in Europe somewhere, you can't easily grab them and extradite them. It's going to be even more complicated. Then you ask yourself this question: Does the Liberian government has the money to
Okay.
pay lawyers to
That's all.
travel
Yeah.
to chase this stuff for a number of years? I don't think they can afford it. So it's a Lofa
Yeah.
made a good point.
Sylvester,
difficult to bring it back.
you owe me lunch tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, I won't. I won't go home either. You know, because the thing is, you can't trust the judicial system in the country. You just can't. They will take because they're not really going to apply law. They're going after you on a personal business. They want to deal with you and disgrace you. It's not the law that's really going to enforce.
Yeah, clear, my
It's
man.
gonna
I
be
think I
very
see my man.
personal.
Yeah. I see my man. People just want to see you in handcuff.
That's
They
it.
want to show you in a car. So they
Yeah.
say, yeah. They already say put making phone with your picture already on Facebook. I said you. I mean, up to you.
I mean, only if the law will be transparent, but definitely.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair here, though. Looking at it, right, and why I hate to see this, and with all due respect to the legal system in Liberia, one thing we must also take into consideration: Samuel Tuet, Nathaniel McGill, they were two of the most hated seditions in their own party. Let's be honest. Miguel was hated for his proximity to the president. So you have seditions who supposed to even support him in however way, whether it was it is political or moral, they will go against him. If Miguel is indicted, seditions will celebrate because their position of celebration would not be because of the legal system. Few things that will be taken into consideration. We won an election with the expectation that you will empower some of us, but you and Samuel Tuet both, because of your close proximity to the president, you cut us off. So now that you're in your problem, we would not support you, would not defend you. So considering all of those things, do I really want to put myself in that position? I wouldn't want to do that. I can tell you that for a fact. Those two individuals, Miguel, Tuet, if they find themselves in any problem, seditions will walk away from them as compared to President Weah. If President Weah was their touch, they would take to the streets. If Jefferson Koji was touched, they will probably take to the street as compared to Miguel or Tuet. So considering all of that, do you really want to do it? Well, you be the judge.
Right, Sylvester, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me.
Yeah, it was an uphill battle to come in, but let me say thank you to my Lofa brother. The Lofa Solidarity Party.
They're in power now. Everywhere, every permanent so Lofa.
Oh yeah, we have a central bank now.
Central bank now.
We'll take over everything.
But wait, before you come in, Sylvester, Professor Kennedy, it is true that the economic management team, the governor of the central bank, he's not supposed to be part of it.
Say it again.
The economic management team, the central bank governor, he or she should be. I mean, should they be part of it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Peter. Yeah, they're all in that whole basket.
Yes.
They're all within that whole basket. So they're gonna nab a whole lot of people because it's not just gonna be the CBL governor. I think it's gonna be they're going to throw a net out there. I don't want to say it's a fishing expedition, throwing a wide net to grab a whole lot of people, but they're going to try to grab as many people as possible. But I don't think the government can afford to put so many people on trial all at once. They can't afford it. And then because we also subscribe to the speedy trial doctrine, well, I take that back. Liberia doesn't subscribe to that stuff because there are people they've been holding without charging them for years. So I take that back. But in any country where there's a true legal system, you cannot hold somebody and not put them on trial within a certain time frame because there's such a thing called the speedy trial doctrine, right? So, but Liberia is a whole different animal. So let's not even go there. But I don't think the government can really afford to prosecute all these people. That is just going to be too expensive for them and time consuming. Not unless they prosecute one person, manage to take back some money from this whole scheme and then use that money to go maybe and legally prosecute some other people. But other than that, I really don't believe the government can afford it. So, but hopefully, let's see. Maybe the rule of law will play out. But I can tell you, Judge Weah is learning a lesson the hard way. I can tell you that for sure. But I'll be right back, guys. I gotta take a call real quick. I'll be right back.
That's true. He's
Yeah.
relevant.
So basically, yeah, too many. The central bank governor is member of the economic management team. The president chairs the team. The president is going to be the chair of the team. You have
But when you read it, the comments from John Malu I put in the chat room. He said in his write up, he said he advised President Weah against it, and President Weah listened to him, and it shouldn't have been. But he said again, Boga have done it, which he's against it too. But I don't know. But these are all finance people. But who am I?
no. Basically, the economic management team is a team structured by the president, and I don't think it's a bad idea to have the man that is because the process there is the central bank governor plays the major role in terms of monitoring economic process in the country. So yes, that he should be part of it. The Minister of Finance is part of it. The Minister of Commerce is part of it. The President got the authority, again, via Article 54 of the Constitution of our country to structure said team. So I don't have problem with who the President want to put on the team, but the only thing I would have issue with is that the President should structure it in a way and manner that will benefit the country. You bring people that got an extraordinary thought process about the economy and as to how we can lift the economy and push that will uplift the country moving forward. That would be my thought process on that. But yeah, the president got exclusive right to organize their team, and he's the only person with that power. So now, the process about the rule of law in the country, about what is unfolding in the country. I am a New Progressive. Mr. Tua, Samuel Tua is member of the New Progressive, founding member of the New Progressive, as a matter of fact. What we believe in is we believe in the rule of law and adhering to the tenets of democracy. But yeah, I would say what I would call on the government to do currently is to ensure that we have, if you were to charge our people, our citizens, and our compatriots with anything moving forward, we need not to see anything politically motivated in this process. I will call on the government to ensure that there should be a very transparent trial, free vote of any political interference, and to ensure speeded process here. If you believe that this is the process that you charge in our people, our folks to in this way, you should allow the judicial process to play. There should be actually no political interference in this issue. And I will also call on our own comrades to ensure that, because if he did not turn himself in, what will be termed in will be considered as a fugitive. That would not be a good thing for him. There may be news the extradition treaty we have with the Cote d'Ivoire, the other countries wherever he is, to extradite him. That would not be a good thing. But we are calling on the government that they should ensure that there should be this should not be politically motivated. No, there will be a sense of other things that will come out of there if that's the case. I would personally think, because listen, in 2018, the government of President Weah also, you saw the late Salif, he was mock shot and the rest of that. They took him to court. It was under the administration of President Weah. Listen, we have to be very clear to get back deep into history. Why are you laughing, Timony? No, listen, I'm trying to bring back things.
Well, I tell you right, though. I mean,
Yes.
that's what I don't want to hear.
The the government of President Weah went back to Israel, and people will want to.
The Marshall.
I'm not suggesting you don't mess me up. Don't mess me up. I'm saying you trying to just get me off target there. So what I was saying, we have to be, as panelists on this show, part of the reason why this show is gaining the traction and the approval rating the way it's doing is for us to be balanced and realistic into our thought process or into whatsoever we try to project on this show. Now, my own disposition here may not be the reality or may not be this. One thing I'm very key of here is that we should all ensure that the processes leading to people being charged. Now, if the LACC conducted a kind of an investigative analysis, according to them, because there's a difference between the LACC and that of the GAC. The GAC is a Supreme Audit Institution, and the LACC is what we call a forensic investigative body. Now, so it's different, and that's one of the reasons why I was having debate with someone. I said, sometimes it's not all audit reports that we use, as a matter of fact, to run to court. Many times we get it wrong. Audit reports sometimes just expressing what the auditor got, the information the auditor got, and in many instances, we go to court and those people warn against government in using just audit report. I can give a classic example. The former Minister of Information, Dr. Lawrence Commandant Bople, was exonerated from the Liberian government when he went to court on the basis of just using an audit report on him at the time. And that report came from the General Auditing Commission. And he was exonerated by the court coming up to say those reports did not come up with what we call the sufficiency of the evidence or whatsoever that would have been against him. So he was acquitted on the basis of some of those reports that came in that the government could not prove a case just on the evidence the government produced as an audit report was not sufficient to indict the former information minister. So I'm coming up here to say that if you're indicting the former Minister of Finance, the former National Security Advisor to the President, the controller, and other individual, you have to depend on her evidence to ensure that you don't just want people to move to this process to say that, hey, we indicting the Minister of Finance because we don't like him because he's an extremely smart man, because he was the more piece or you're one of the extremely smart individuals of the past government. We try to decapitate that regime. In the decapitation process, we want to get rid of the WIA. And what we ought to do is to move and get after his smart foot soldiers. And that, as a matter of fact, that would be a clear manifestation that we can get him out of the process, because WIA alone is nobody. It should not be in that line. But if you charge Sylvester Pewy, for instance, on a charge, you need to come and prove that in court so that Sylvester Pewy can be, that was beyond all reasonable doubt. The court is clear. This government going to court. It should not be on the basis of sentiments. It should not be on the basis of political motivation. We have to remove ourselves from these things and get back to the issue. Liberia is heavily divided. And that's what I said. That is clear. It's evidenced by the recent audit report, election results. The country is heavily divided. Folks on the other side would think the way they want to think, and folks on the other side. So what we have to do, we have to strike the balance to ensure that if you want to go to court, you have to go to court on the basis of what you intend to do. I thought today, President Weah should have taken caution from the press, just reading out, and that's where I thought the president missed the boat. The president should have taken some caution from the press. And again, those are the handlers of the president are not doing well in terms of that. He's the former president of the Republic of Nigeria. And I believe that strategically, we will have to begin the process of saying this man is not an ordinary man. He's the president of the country. You don't just come and read a statement as a former president. We have been in the business for more than 20 years now. He's serving opposition for 12 plus years, president 6 years. They should have allowed him to interact with the press when he would have given some personal process and that would hit the line. The press would have gone through the process of asking some very key questions, and his response to those questions would have set the basis as to where we headed and what is unfolding. But I thought that was a manner today on the part of whosoever that organized this press briefing for the president to just go and speak to the press. We are speaking today, taking caution from the journalists. I thought it was not a good thing today, and we have to move to do a lot of things. But again, quickly before I conclude here, the central bank issue. The central bank governor. The law of the central bank is very clear, very restrictive. It is unambiguous that the central bank governor cannot be suspended. He should be impeached. That's a new line. But again, every government will have to be clear. You see, if you come, we have to just take stock of what will happen to money. Look back. We also suspended a past central bank governor. So the people say if the we are did it, and the major Liberia is now divided into two-party states. My dear brothers on this show this evening, we did the same to the past central bank governor. What do you expect people to do? Do we have the ground to come and criticize them? Do we? The decision the president took? No. Not be made. Not quite against us. Now we should come and say things. If you did something yesterday, Lofa, we should be made enough to understand what we did. If we violated, listen, the president believe, and then we need not to push them to ask them what is the process that will for them. They're taking decision based on precedent set. Go ahead, guys.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Let me-
Before you comment, exactly what you said, Sylvester. And that's the same recklessness that we talk about that happened in the CDC government. These are some of the reasons the same people who disallowed the president from answering questions a day, they were the same one who were behind him when critical things came about to advise and say the president you shouldn't do this. They're like, oh no, he's not going to talk about
The
this.
same thing,
He's not
sorry, the same thing that led us today.
Yes.
We shouldn't have allowed preachers to go.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, preachers go can go for other people in Nima. They will do
Exactly.
anything for us. No,
The same old people.
The same mistake continue.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, the couple things, Sylvester, you kind of hit it exactly to where I was going, but I wanted to make clarity on something here. I saw Grace commented as to whether I am advising people to, to violate the law and then escape. That is not what I stated earlier. There are two forms of actions here when it comes to the application of the law, right? Human reasoning and judicial acceptance, right? When you pull over, are you comfortable with the police officer? You're supposed to stop and let that police officer do what they're supposed to do. But in some instances, they attempt to run off thinking that they can get away from the law, considering whether they are afraid, they feel like that police officer would not be the kind of person that he's supposed to be, because police officers are to protect, okay, lives and properties. In the case of Liberia, when it comes to understanding of the judicial system, considering the fact that it doesn't even exist. So I'm telling you, in my own human capacity, in my own reasoning, considering the fact that they don't even follow the law, they don't even believe in the law they themselves. Those who are supposed to be implementers of the law don't even believe in it. So if I am put in that position, do I trust the system for the system to work out for me? How many of us here will sincerely say, regardless of the fact that this entire process was wrong, we don't think it should end up this way, let us stand up against it? Mr. Alexander Cummings, the most recent incident was with Mr. Alexander Cummings. How many people asked you? This man, he went to court almost every day. Some of you celebrated the fact that he was wrongly going through all of that process when he could have been doing other things. So I'm telling you today, look, while it is true that no one should run away from the legal process, you should make yourself available, but considering all of the trends of event, I am telling you tonight, I won't have felt comfortable submitting myself for anything that had to do with any kind of indictment in Liberia, because those who are in the process, they themselves as just as corrupt, and they are the inventor of stealing in government. The UP invented corruption. CDC practiced corruption and handed it to the inventors of corruption. He who invents his idea is the master of it. That's my thing.
No,
Yeah.
look
Go
at-
ahead. Go ahead.
No, look at just what you said, exactly what you're saying here. I'm glad that you even went back to the Cumming case. They were there.
Exactly.
It was the CDC Solicitor General who was walking around parading with Bwaka, opening the door for him to get off the car and
Yeah.
take him in, because they had a man going through the anyone that turned to tell the aim was to cripple Mr. Cummings because they felt that they would win the election. It was all about political game. You stay there, they embarrass somebody, they disgrace him. Did the government ever come out and say, you know what? This case against Mr. Cummings will condemn what they were doing? Did they ever say that? No. So what we're seeing here today, I repeat, it's the same damn thing that happened during the CDC time. It's the same damn thing. They went into offices, they fired people, they pushed people out of the offices, out of the job, people who were even qualified, they pushed them up, and even brought people in that were not even qualified for positions and put them in government. The same old thing. They brought indictment on some people and all of that. It's the same thing that happened in the government. So you know what it is? For the people to rub it in your face, That's the same thing. Now you see how bad it looks when somebody come back and try to rub in your face. Why did you not persecute those people in the past regime? Why did you not do that? You had audits for editing. Why did you not persecute it? Who will believe you now? You're talking about, oh, there were audits, and the question will be why you did not do it. So it's the same thing. I don't, as much I don't support this government, I don't trust them. It's like the same old thing that you did. Now the librarian man say they're rubbing the oil right on your face, right back on your face the same way. Yeah. And that same thing happening. This is what it did. You have a president who came out, they had the opportunity to rather present a case to the librarian public. To rather present a case, oh, you're shielding him from answering questions. No, he didn't answer no question. Who you done there? So then all you said today, how could I ask you whether it was true, why you coming up now, or what are some errors? You boom, you jump in and leave. So who would believe it? Just can't say that. There's two sides to every story. Maybe his story could not be right. Maybe if they give him the opportunity to answer questions, it's the same thing they did in the past, and that's what got Unity Party. So don't blame Unity Party.
Like you said, the people you guys said. Look, I remember when we were actively involved with the CDC at that time before we became president. When we had his office staff, one of those who was a push for him to have press conferences and have take questions, but people opposed it. And today was an opportunity for the president, after you had an important speech, everybody will focus on that speech. You address a jam-packed press conference. You should have taken questions. You got double down on and try to clarify most of the things you said in your speech is different from the speech you're giving. Try to clarify it, but you address the press conference. They just give the speech and just walk away from the mic. It didn't help, because now what people are watching to see. Now, today happened, right? Let's see what happened in the next couple of days. Now, you have your former national security advisor. He's in prison at South Beach now. Your former Solicitor General he's in prison. The former finance minister he's still at large. The former and financial intelligence director is still at large. So people watch to see what happens. And there are more indictments I heard from the UP people today that are coming. Now, who knows who's next? Maybe it come closer to the president. Maybe somebody that's closer to him again. Maybe that's closer to him before in the UP trap. Then what will happen next? And so if you are taking question, somebody would ask it. So if you are giving, so what's the time frame? What's the next step that you be giving UP if they continue in this trend? What's going to happen? You double down and answer these questions so the people can know. But if you just walk away from it, now you people are all on social media making fun of it. It's like their speech mean nothing to them. They're not showing no sign that okay, this speech should give us spoke to us directly. We should understand that the pieces of this country is fragile, whatever the case, but nothing. So again, let's see how they interpret it. So people are watching, okay? The indictments on. I heard maybe by Friday or Monday, people will appear in court. Will put them in court.
I want to suggest something though. Let's get the public reaction to this. And what you guys think? Open the phone lines. What y'all think?
Yeah. Before you open the phone line, he just said some things. A lot of indictment. I'm getting information quickly, gentlemen, that we have much of those that will be unsealed. I don't know how the prosecution team of the government going to move on sealing these things, but I'm getting information that Bill Traore is part of the next group that they need to come after. We're going to hear the name of Senator Traore trying to do that. So the process is that we need to understand here, and this is government. There's no amount of press conferences will stop these things from unfolding. What we need to do, the fact that this government is inclined to move on the prosecutorial role, to take on those kind of a prosecutorial role, the only thing we have to do from the other end now is to mobilize our legal team to do an assessment of all of the indictments that are coming out. If this indictment, they don't meet the necessary thing, there's no weight of evidence in it, they move to the court for the court to trash them. You need to examine the best legal minds to try to disintegrate most of these things that are coming. If they are flawed, you point out the flaws in it and ask the court to dismiss. Nothing we can do about these things now. They're going to come about. No another press conference. And the more you have the press conference, there's nothing done in it. And you allow the ruling establishment to understand that you just using past glory to do these things, then they will push more on you and they will start to push it at a very higher level. Politically, I'm speaking to you not as a partisan person, but as a pundit, as a political scientist that do understand most of the maneuvering that can unfold. Yeah, I'm a student. I'm a student of political science, right? That's what can happen.
Were you classmate with Eugene Franco?
Come again?
Go ahead.
No, what? No, go ahead. Say it.
I said, were you classmate? I said, were you classmate with Eugene Franco?
No,
that's all I asked.
I don't have 4 associate political science degree. I have 1 political science. I have
okay. Let's move on the topic. Yeah.
No. Where you want to go? No. I don't have 4 associate.
Let's go on the topic.
I don't have that, right? I have Bachelor of Arts degree in political science. Just 1, not 4 associate.
Okay.
But basically, that's the line, right? So if we need to understand, so all these things, it's not about not talking, because there will be time we'll do all of the public relations, we'll do all of the processes. If the folks at the level of prosecution understand that we just saying this thing with noise, nothing we're doing to impact anything, there will be more emboldened to do a lot of things. So what we need to do now is to do a mobilization of the best legal minds that will handle our cases and look into the cases. And when these cases don't have merit, if they are meritless, then we begin to move through to ensure that we are responding vehemently with all our legal strength to
you be running that 2020 already. The people trying to tell you say
it's so funny to see another roguish group persecuting another roguish group.
I know, right?
Because you need to tell Manto to do what you told him.
The armed robbers are actually going after the petty thieves. Like I said, and hopefully we can open the phone lines, right?
Yeah, let's go.
You can never beat the inventor of an idea to the implementation of it. CDC, again, I want to say this. I just want to reiterate. UP invented corruption in government. You can never beat them to it. You can implement it. You can do as much as you can. But remember, the inventor understands the idea behind it and how they want to do it. So CDC, when they came on, they did it. But again, because they were a bunch of rookies, they didn't know what they were trying to get through. They were amateurs at it. And so, of course, all of their practices and implementation were just up there. But the UP, the inventor is so they know how to manipulate the system so that they probably may not even get prosecuted by the next government because they know how to cover their tracks. Look at the recent Yellow Machine deal. What do you see happening now? The likes of Darrell Dillon and other people are working in the back to make sure that that entire Yellow Machine deal ends up in Liberia without having to go against the government. Darrell Dillon and other people benefited to some extent from the UP government. So don't be fooled. While we are looking at the CDC for all of the ill practices in government, we cannot ignore the fact that UP invented corruption in Liberia, and they should be given no leeway. Now that they should be allowed to move anywhere close to government going forward. Go ahead, Busman Henry.
#96 for 125 days the Renaissance Radio. Yeah, today is Wednesday, the midweek edition of the closing argument. Yeah, on 296.1 days of reminder into the program. The closing argument 777-017635 077-2859-61. These are the numbers to call, and then you're going to be live here tonight on the program. Closing argument here on the Renaissance Radio. 077-017635 077-017635 777-2859-61. These are the two numbers to call and then make your contribution here on the program. The closing argument here on the Renaissance Radio. So let's call off. Hello. How are you? Your name from where you join us? You guys get him?
I'm Harry. You calling from EIW opposite GT Bank.
From EIW opposite GT Bank. Make your point a minute.
Thank you so much, and I've got a lot of our people in the diaspora, and I love the expose. But what I want to say is, Liberia is our own country. We have to take it easy in pushing our law. We saw the voting aspect. It make the country was divided into two. Many other people from the northeast side of the eastern side. So I beg the government of our president or Rebecca to take it easy with the other people. Our country will be peaceful as it is. That is my contribution for now.
Okay, the president should take it easy with other people. 777-017-635. That's it. The president will have to take it very, very easy. No rushing. They pay. 0777017-635. To this caller. Hello.
Good evening.
Bossman, how are you, sir?
I'm okay. I'm from Canada. I call from Kisi Community, Kakata.
Kisi Komere. How's Kakara?
Yes, Kakata, yes. Let me first applaud you and all those of you that have carried on this program for the immense contribution made thus far to the Liberian people when it comes to informing us. But I wish to question the entire seditions and other Liberians that are in support of the seditions attitude. Are they very conscious minded when it comes to the development of this country? CDC led the country for 6 years. Why didn't they carry on inquiry or audit to know what the previous government, the United government did, and why is it that today when the United government is seeking after the interest of Liberian people that is those that have been led on investment state form, then Liberian seditions are taking it out of context. It bothers me so much that when Liberians look at who COVID dying, and somebody come to restaurant or airport, then will start to criticize the things that are not actually in line with us. Why is the problem?
Okay. Thank you so kindly. Why should we criticize a government that comes to rescue? 777-017-635 is the number to call. To this caller. Hello?
How are you?
Boss man, gotta be audible a bit. I'm okay, and you?
Well, myself, I'm okay. I'm calling you from Grand Bassa, especially electoral district number 4, Wilson City, Grand Bassa County. I'm Milton D. Smooth.
Grand Bazaar County. Okay, that's good.
Where I'm following the discussion, and my brother, I've said it on our local radio station at Lifestyle Radio. I said we have to be careful. The leadership of this present UP government have to really look at things critically before they take action, because if not, we are going back to the ethnicity war that was before. So, for the speech or statement from the former President Weah, I think it's just to caution the government, because anyone who have ever worked in the past government that are from UP, SAR, and now they are working, if they are found in any act, they themselves should be brought to book, but not to pick and choose. Even though we have 100 plus already reports are being given to the president to take action. But again, if you just trying to cross-inform and bring other people, we are not saying an allegation is made that they are guilty, but it will be like we've been talking about it, people, so we finish catching them. This is why many times you will hear about witch hunt. So it takes time, because there was less than 1% that that he was able to win the former president, and he was able to look at him and say, I'm been defeated, I accept it. So let me really take time, so we are more ahead. The people of Liberia together and reconcile them.
So in saying, you're trying to say that it is still soon, no rushing. Take it easy, then you understand why you're doing. Are we on code?
Of course, because
okay, so starting it. That way there 777-017-635, 777-017-635, 777-28-59-61. To this caller. Hello, your name from where you join us?
Pastor Manavi Kowi.
Okay, Pastor, please be audible a bit so the panel will get what you're saying.
I'm speaking from Peace in Kukura Factory.
Are you guys getting him?
I'm speaking from Kukura Factory.
Lova.
Kukura Factory.
Okay, make your point.
I see in this problem, I'm seeing problem ahead of Nigeria. So the government have to really take time.
What's that problem you are seeing ahead? What are you perceiving?
I'm seeing problems trouble.
Trouble, okay.
So the government have to break. But this is the first time in Nigeria that kind of thing will take place.
Okay. So kindly, okay, that's it. The pastor is saying that he's perceiving trouble. So it becomes optional to us, we as government, to take it easy or not. 777-017-635, 777-2859-61. To this caller. And if you want to join us.
Good evening. I'm Prince Zero speaking to you from Brookville.
There you how's Brookville?
Brookville is okay. Brookville is okay.
Okay, make your point a minute.
The idea about people saying that the government should not investigate people is a scare tactic. Bringing in the idea of city war and all those kind of things.
No. Hello.
Yes, sir.
No one is saying that the government should not go on doing what they are doing, but they should take it easy, step by step, because it is still soon. Take it easy.
Require for somebody to be invited, investigated, and give chance to justice system. Let us observe it and see how it's going to go. And somebody talking about unity party give birth to corruption. No one stopped the government before. The government are just left not to investigate people or not to punish people. And then you came in and you decided to let it be and all of it. Today, when they are there to leave, I mean that people investigate. This is what we think. So thank you so much. I don't think people should bring in ideas about government should be careful.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so kindly for following the show. Let's get at it. So to our online viewers, the numbers to call here in Labra +231-777-017-635 +231-777-017-635 077-017-635 To this caller, your name from where you join us? From Coast Hill. There in Puebla community. Am I right? Make a point. A minute.
So what I want to say, for present analysis that you can about.
Please be audible.
I say thank you for you people for you giving us privilege to come on to this session. I want to say thank you for every one of us that there, every one of you people that there to at least give us some of the information that what I want to say is if we should take this speech today, the former president's speech today, people the Unity Party says you don't take it into something that people are useless something. It's not useless, it's very important. But most of the time at least to run this country. If we can't run the country good, we ourselves we're not taking it here anytime. So we're not dressed back. Thank you very much.
Thank you so kindly. We will not dress by. Take your own time to run the country.
Henry,
777-017-635.
if you're ready, Henry.
Hello, Lopa. What are you saying?
We have callers here if you're ready.
Sorry?
We have callers on the line here in the US.
Okay, to this caller. I will take 3 more and then we'll turn back to you guys. Make your point. Okay. Go ahead. A minute.
My concern then drawn to the report and the information coming from the leader of the state. I have different spectrum and different view about the issue. I think I am appealing to the present president, that I agree with it. We should give the opportunity to the investigator to go through the process.
But I'm also a little bit shy about the suspension of a person from audit report. What I know, I thought if that person is indicted, that's the time it should be suspended. Because audit report is not indictment. Audit doesn't determine whether the person is corrupt or not, or what the system is to be set. But to suspend somebody and replace them right away, I think the president should revisit somebody's decision. Especially when he rejected the result, the report coming from the judiciary. When the judiciary said, no, go and set people, but do not put anybody to good position. Then he went ahead, reappointed the guys to go out. That is an affront to the judicial process. I think this is where the problem is coming. I'm appealing to the president. Let him do this holistically and stop pinpointing on a particular issue. I think someone apologize should be all government about today. Because those slight error can lead to an example of the issue that will cause problem for the country. And this basically, he didn't follow the process. I expected the president should have taken action on him. I expected also the president, Tabate, who caused that problem, and the police indicted him to be suspended. But no, and you're not taking those action, and you're going after. I support the issue of investigation, but that be holistic. So we can have the fever, our children are here. We don't want to go back to things that are not necessary. The force of this country is as strong as the population of this country. And the plea to the president to be holistic in his performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so kindly. Hold the president or listen to your appeal. But that's it. It is like a cycle. Man moving, man dropping. Let's go. Two more. Two to go. To this call, make your point. A minute.
Hello.
Go ahead. Your name from where you join us.
Thank you. My name is Alfred Ernesto Barisaco, and I speak to you from the township of Johnson.
Okay.
Let me say this. I listened to the former president's statement today, and the question is, who really stopped President Weah from auditing past government officials? That's number one. Number two, when he paraded with Charles Sirleaf in a jumpsuit around this country, did anyone talk about witch hunt? Number three, Brandon Samoka won the election as senator. If I participated, won as senator, later the position were taken from him and prosecuted. The brain embraced the idea. How come this time around, President Bouaka is saying, come account for the money you received while you were serving? They are not even get the president Weah yet. They only asking a lieutenant. Now a lieutenant now telling him to go and have press conference because they made to understand that after them it will be him. That's the understanding. That's why he had a press conference today, and you understand he had nothing to tell Liberian people, only to talk about how the process will be resisted. That's all, nothing else. So we are saying this country, and when President Bouaka administration ends, the next administration that will come, we expect you to also follow President Bouaka administration.
Okay.
That will serve as a precedent. This means any other person serving government position or position of trust, you'll be very careful because you know that you will be audited anytime from now, or you'll be called to question or to ask question why you serve in that position, those things that you achieve. So we are saying President Bouaka should not back up, let him go ahead. Somebody say in my audit early regime. Sometimes we wonder how are they taking. I go people, I see one plan hanging that one on the ground, my hand get dirty, you say no, I'm living and clear way in the tree to go for the other red property for you can cover the one on the ground. One idea is that.
Thank you.
We will start from now and will be prosecutors.
Thank you. This is my bro. We're gonna be the last caller, 770-17635. We're gonna be our last caller here on the program, the closing argument. There's a program that comes away Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. yeah, on the Renaissance Radio 96.12 FM. It is your time, audience. You make a point. Yes, the president will listen to you. I guess the president found this show a whole lot. He will listen to you, and your qualms or concern are going to be taken into Harley. So, to this call, you need from where you join us. You gotta be audible, or I'll take you off and then put another one alarm. Make your point.
My name is David Jackson. David Jackson.
Calling from where?
Calling from Clarendon.
Make your point for Clarendon.
Yeah, the issue, one of discussion when it comes to the further corruption with the government. For me, what I do see in this whole thing, and I want to say politics like a very the UP government came to governance by rhetorics, lies, all of those things were in power. They made false for accusation, 16 billion dollars, cemetery, carry 25 billion, putting pick up, all of that to fool the Liberian people so they can come to power. So to justify all of these lies, now they are coming to start going after people which are supposed to see that Waka have come up to say carrying on negotiation, gentlemen agreement with Akosot legislature. And all of these things today, the issue that has to do with investigating people through audit report, we are not disputing the fact that audit report should be carried out by them. But because we know that Waka believes in violating the laws, we will not infiltrate the justice system if we are not careful. So we want a transparent and a clear, an investigation. Which of course, when the former president made it clear that we will use the legal means and the political means, meaning in the time past, when some kind of issue occur, they put devil outside and started to obstruct the justice system, that this is why they will do to defend some kind, no matter how justice is taken. So when Mr. Weah said they will take the legal means, it's about violence, then the political means will be where you carry our people will go and demand fair justice. They see where they didn't put devil outside. So citizens will come out to defend their people in a legal means. So we will not be deterred. So no matter how we do it, we want the peace of this country to be maintained. So when Waka breach law, even the people from the central bank, today he suspending people without the legal way. And all of these things, we see the violation of President Waka.
Okay.
So I'm afraid the peace that we enjoy, we don't want to go back to the bad days.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so kindly.
Is to maintain 2029 prestige.
Thank you.
Because
Okay.
they keep the power by lies. So they say they deal with lie to the people about. Let them prove it by their hijacking the something that went through the justice system, will infiltrate it, and will make them to look at the guilty.
Okay.
So that the relevant now they have for Weah is people will take it from them.
Okay,
But
no
if
problem.
God is watching this government. If the government never came by the will of God, they will always be disgraced.
Okay. God is watching.
God will prove things right for this country.
Government that's for God. God is watching us.
Okay.
So that whole because of time, so let's go back to the panelists. So that's it. It is back to you guys.
All right, guys. Nettie Davis, let's hear from you. We'll take all three of you guys on here now. Go ahead, Nettie.
I just want to say that if you knew the conference,
Guys,
so if you never it's not sorry for that. But we the citizens are standing up, and we stand up, and we always stand up. Right now, all the political party that you know, you are nobody standing up. When CDC was there, it was UP that was standing up. Now UP there is CDC that's standing up. When it comes to election after 5 months or 5 years or whatever, so people will start coming. Oh, they won't say he's running, they won't say he's running, they won't say he's running. Everybody should be quiet. That's we the ones sacrifice ourselves. So you leave us alone. That's do our work, and we'll do anything we want to do. And we'll be honest, and we are 100%. Thank you.
Thank you. Caller 254, last four. It's 8432. Let's hear from you. Your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Lobo, how you doing, brother? This is Claudia Solomon calling from Maryland.
Let's hear from you, boss man.
Yeah, I just want to say something, right? Liberia is divided between the lands, and the present government got almost upon them right now to unite the people.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing down there, that the people is a political witch hunt They're trying to marginalize potential people from the CDC government so that the CDC got no strength in 2029. Let me let you know. Where is Dora Muziska? They put up the fire on her. Where is those people that, or why, if you want to audit, why are you taking your audit from just 2018 to 2023? That tells you right there that it's a political witch hunt. So they gotta be very careful. And the citizen, I understand, maybe that'll take better than I was drunk for a very long time. But the only waiting for George we have to say do and they will do. So the government gotta be very careful with those kind of people. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. Those were the two callers we had on the line. Dr. Peabody, you guys can take it from here. I'm gonna.
I think we got to do our closing now, guys. It's about the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. Then we're just gonna close and then call it a day. All right. So let's start. Let's start.
I said,
I got a joke. I got a joke here for Sylvester.
There's
somebody
Right.
sent me. Somebody sent $10 to Close and Accurate and said for your
smoke each other.
Anywhere in the world. It's
No, but there's Sharon. I posted something about the.
I got issue one.
By the time we still got Sharon.
But send it out to me by there. Send it so
Sharon.
Yeah, they sent $10. I mean,
Sharon. The stuff about the Burkina Faso president. Can you post it for me, please? Yes. So we'll still got a little time. Watch what the guy did in Burkina Faso, man.
Okay.
Yes. Look, that guy. Oh, and you know something? Why they putting it there? Look, and there's too much democracy with your legislation. They're not helping the countries. This guy, the guy took the money. He said he's driving a 2021 car, right? The car he's supposed to drive, he gave it to the doctors. They're driving the best car in Burkina Faso. He said nobody should drive car that costs more than $10,000. But in our country, a poor country like Liberia, our people that driving $80,000 car. Look, there's somebody from another day. The person one of burger tap to put up. The person tap or support a burger. Say to money, look at the public close now. We're in custom made share, JMB. then they say the public wedding anniversary. On a serious note, public should taking his. Now it is older people.
No, I take that picture from Germany. Yep, take that down. I wanted to show you everything. You didn't show.
Not the other one.
What was the luxury party he had on
I mean,
lavish party.
Let me frank. The public anniversary, even if our 50th or 55th of him, but the second one anniversary, having an elaborate program at the city hall, and everybody, the government worked in there soon that day. Everybody in attendance. Look, the problem, guys, is the same thing other governments have done. Is they keep on doing the same old thing. I mean, why? Why on a weekday too? I mean, there's no.
You don't think the Omen can take care of that 1 year anniversary?
No, but let me frank, right? The optics. What you should have done, at least here in the first family, go to some place for them have the dinner.
Why? That's the president of the republic.
Yes, you're defending it. Listen,
Ibrahim,
have a luxury party.
Listen to the guy, man.
yesterday
That was
being
lavish.
20.
Listen to the guy. Go ahead.
That was a lavish party, Sylvester.
Yeah.
Lavish.
Don't be giving some.
They should have neutralized him, but if they had just held their post,
Man, hey, give it this sound, man.
maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog. I say this is Intervlog, and I am here once more. I am here because there is one important information that I brought to you today, and this information is unbelievable. The information is something every African leader should adopt. And you would ask me, what is that information? Well, the information is coming from Burkina Faso, and it is about the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré. Yesterday, being 25th of July, 2024, handed over mobile clinics, vehicles, and equipment. This means mobile hospitals. In order to explain it very well, is a vehicle being equipped with hospital equipment. Many, many things that can happen in hospital can actually happen in those vehicles. That is exactly what it is. And what is the reason of Burkina Faso leader handing over mobile vehicle to the Ministry of Health? The reason is actually the reason I'm here as well. One of the reasons is that since Ibrahim Traoré took over, things have progressed so rapidly that if you go to Burkina Faso, you won't recognize Burkina Faso anymore. There is development everywhere you go in Burkina Faso. Infrastructural development. And that development cannot get to every local government because there are some typical villages that problems still exist in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso leaders are building hospitals everywhere. But the point is that they cannot wait until hospitals are built everywhere before the Burkina Faso began to enjoy the effect of their good governance. So the leader happened to buy the mobile clinics and send them to different local governments. This mobile clinic is for checking of fever, malaria, cancers, pregnancy, test of different things, and also for the treatment and the solution. And this is beautiful. As you can see it, vehicles and machines are everywhere here in the field. That very day, Ibrahim Traoré came with a different vehicle from the one people used to know him with, which is Land Rover Defender 2001, meaning that Ibrahim Traoré has changed his vehicle. He is now using a different vehicle. And this vehicle is 2011 Toyota 70 series. In secondhand, it costed $10,000. Now, what surprised people most is that when he came to commission the trucks and some SUV and pickups that Burkina Faso government procure for doctors and nurses, he came with 2011 Toyota 70 series, which it cost us $10,000 in secondhand. And among of the vehicle he commissioned, we had Toyota Land Cruiser 2024, new ones. And he refused to use those Toyota Land Cruiser. Instead, he gave it to the doctors. He said doctors need it more than him because these doctors will be entering villages. Some of their service need speed. They go to need vehicle with his speed, like an ambulance. But he, as a president, this one is okay for him. He chose 2011 Toyota 70 series, as you are seeing it here. He came down from the Toyota 70 series to commission new vehicles for doctors. Each one of those vehicles he commissioned can buy 20 of the one he is using. Each one of any vehicle he commissioned today can buy 20 of the one that the president has. Is this not unbelievable? Improving healthcare provision, mobile clinics and cold chain equipment for quality care for Burkinabe, Ouagadougou, July 25th, 2024. The president of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, handed over this Thursday morning to the Ministry of Health and Public Hygiene 15 mobile clinics, cold chain equipment, office equipment, rolling logistics for the improvement of the provision of health care in our country. The 15 equipped mobile care units, mobile clinics, are intended for public health establishments.
No, let the people hear these things.
They got a visit. They got
a concept.
People wake up propaganda. They met the president. Delete my examples of propaganda.
In certain peripheral areas of city.
The Land Cruiser there, the man said 20. They want to get back 20 of the other one. It's not true.
That's true.
It's not true.
Pee-wee. So Pee-wee, what is your point of contention though? Is it that
that's an AI generated?
What's your point of contention?
No. My point here clearly is that let me not rule out basically what he's doing. It's good to give the people what he's doing, right? Listen, please. Here's what I'm trying to say. This is a military junta that are trying to validate his stay in power illegally.
Oh, come on, man.
Right? You need to understand these things. This is a military junta that's trying to validate his stay in power illegally. Number one, he got power illegally. He's trying to validate that by pleasing it. But you read Machiavelli, go and read the Book of Prince.
Man,
because
you're defending kind of thing.
No, we don't defend things.
No.
No.
National budget. How much money is for recurrent charges? He talk about the man. He in the villages. He can't move out in the villages. So he said that propaganda. Low five. I mean, it's a low five, man.
But Pee-wee, here's the thing, right? This is where we continue to miss our direction. It's not where you were born. It's where you want to find yourself. It's not how he ascended to power, but how he transformed the lives of his people.
Exactly.
That's what we are talking about here. He came there that way. We disagree with any form of violent ascendancy to power and so forth. But if that is what got him there, is he intending to transform the lives of innocent people in his country? That is why the people will support him. And this is what is missing in Liberia. A man who ascended to power based on the process of election. He refused to invest in the lives of innocent people. Today, President Boykai is wearing shirt with his name literally written on the shirt, something he could not afford a few months ago. He had to live at the expense of a convicted felon in Stanton Weatherspoon and at the support of Henry Costa. This is what's supposed to happen. This is a precedent.
Do we believe in what we said? Do we believe what we said? Do you want me to subscribe to the tendency that Ambassador Boakai clear for to put? I'm not a rich guy. I'm a hustler. But do you know that I can do a purple street for my initial S?
Okay, but then if he did not live as
it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost nothing.
So here's the thing, right? If he wasn't as flamboyant as what he's trying to portray today, that tells you the level of deception. Because as a vice president, he could afford, to actually have his name written on his shirt, but he did not live like that. That was not who we saw him to be. This is not who you were. So this level of deception is what we're talking about here. Let us invest in the lives of the innocent.
Now he's the face of the country. He's the president of the republic.
I'm looking at a video. There's a military man who's taking the resources of the country and putting in the people, investing in the people. He's not putting on himself. And mind you, this
that's
guy,
the surface. That's the stuff he's saying. Do you know how much of the people living behind the same luxury life? Come on,
but man, that's all. These guys, the guys in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea, what they have done, they said, look, they left ECOWAS, and they said,
yeah, that did that side. That did that. ECOWAS hold them accountable. ECOWAS hold them accountable. That's not the leaving.
Even the colonial masters in the French, they said, get from here. They depend on their own resources. The resources that not only depend on the invest in the people.
But they brought in Russia and China.
They depend on Russia.
Russia and China.
But
Russia and China.
But the problem is,
they're not getting no. They don't have no resources. But
the people. The money America and get bro, what do it?
Now Russia and China depending on.
Most of the money America get like bro. Most of the money and
in the billions.
No, I come in. Let's put this thing in context and let it put understand first and foremost.
Yeah, go ahead.
Most of the money that come America is the major development partner supporter to our country.
Yeah.
But most of the money sometimes America gave to Liberia, those money, for instance, when we had the ECOWAS, the war, ECOMO, America sponsored ECOMO. America gave most of the money to ECOMIL when it came to the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Liberia. They put the money. America put most of the money to USAID projects. America pump most of the money. So America does not necessarily give money to the Liberian government. Get this straight. America does not give money to the Liberian government. America pump money into projects that Liberia will benefit. And we commend America for that. And I like that. I like that America will not give money to the Liberian government. America, for instance, our peacekeeping mission. America pump most of those hundreds of millions.
We're talking about peacekeeping. We're talking about the money they put the
money. Can I just say this?
America don't give money to the government. They don't give money to the government. No.
Also wait. The compact that the $257 million compact that they got. Where that money was spent?
The money don't go to the government. The money go through other contractor means.
Project that the government.
Yeah, for instance, that project, it went through other means, but it didn't pass through the government.
The Makobe project? Come on, stop it.
It didn't go through the government. It didn't go through the government.
Access to the money to brother. Stop it.
No, government didn't have. Government
didn't have the money.
Let me ask you a quick question.
There's a bidding process that they went through. The government did not hold the money.
Let's break this down.
I mean, they're probably look.
Let's break this down to the level of some of us. Let's break this down to the level of some of us who are not educated, right? If you were given a coupon to purchase food for your house, the food purchased and put in your house, okay, is in your refrigerator. Who benefits?
If I'll give you a coupon, and they said the coupon is meant for food in my house,
and the food purchased and put in your house,
and who the coupon is given to me?
Very good. Good analogy.
The coupon, whether it's given to you or it's given to someone else to purchase the food.
That's a food stand.
Yeah. No, forget about it, right? Yeah. The food is purchased and put in your house.
Okay.
Who benefits?
The food put in my house, and me and my household benefiting from it.
Oh, okay. So you benefit.
I come asking the question, right? So the fact that the food is purchased by any other third party and given to me, I benefit from, and yet don't get me wrong. I just said to you just now, to us, I just said to us just now, America is the number one supporting partner to LeBron. No country in the world has supported us the way America has. And that's one of the reasons why in the level of where the orator said it last night, I agree to a point, but I disagree to a point where he said America have done a lot more for us in terms of supporting our line, our survival moving forward. Now, America is not part of the cost of what Firestone is doing there. Firestone is a business organization. It's not America. What have we done for Firestone to allow Firestone to do more for us? Have we given Firestone independent electricity? Firestone is running her own hydro. So the things he said about Firestone thing,
but it's part of the concession agreement. You go to the agreement. Okay?
We
in 1926.
Yeah.
Okay? What they have done, having as Firestone, he signed an agreement 1926 with the Liberian government for 99 years.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm surprised though you didn't tell me that what Firestone have done though.
Yeah.
Do you know that Firestone built Dusa Hospital?
Man, our boy raising Firestone, you tell me that thing? I know
but
that.
you said what they have done. I'm reminding you.
But
do you know Firestone built Dusa Hospital?
But
do you know that Firestone school system in the place is one of the best school systems we have?
That not the best. Brennan said when we were there, it was the best.
But then why did you say what they have done?
I'm trying to tell you.
They have educated thousands of people. I was born in Firestone as well. My dad worked for Firestone over 30 years.
They met my dad worked Firestone for 25 years.
So Firestone has done a lot more for us.
I agree.
They're taking a lot from Liberia.
But listen, they're business. They're not. Listen to me now. If the sign, if we the Liberian government, if we need any other thing to do, you saw what Manasari did when she took over as president of the Republic of Liberia.
What she did?
When she moved out of Firestone, she said to them, she went on most of the plantations, on the division rather. She said to them, our people will not live in this type of structure. What happened? In less than a year, they start teaching them to a comfortable.
Not true. Our infrastructure.
Go there and see.
They're dead. Darkness. No, don't let it go for you. They're still in darkness.
No, they did.
Look, Pee-wee, when Doe took over, right? I remember infrastructure when Doe took over. Doe went there one day. Doe said he went. He said, I lived in the house before. This house is dark. I want light here. He made some noise. After a few months, I think died down. Look, the problem have been our leaders.
Yes, okay, our leaders. So I thought our independent. It's not America. It's our leaders. If you get a bro, want to mean not to the people saying like bro tomorrow. When I transform that country, trust me, nobody can say, oh, America.
The first thing for the fight, defending you against the man driving a 211 car. You say the major woman morale.
No, I'm not accusing. I'm saying to you, I understand.
Right?
I understand propaganda.
No, but listen to me now. That example, right? So President Bouaga, he in the best position to be the best person like bro. Right. First thing, he had cut down. He said, look, I'm riding no kind of fancy car. I ride one leg, nice car. I want 2-3 cars behind me now. Oh, finish.
But the president of our country, the car current, and we need to be very clear, right? The president of our country, the chief of Toyota, Land Cruiser, the president, our presidents from Madam Sadi days. The only president that brought a lot of luxury cars and other things, teaching cars going on, he felt the need of that was tough. But Madam Sadi is the Toyota Land Cruiser. George Weah, Toyota Land Cruiser.
Bulletproof too. The road bulletproof. The president brought a bulletproof.
But it has to be bulletproof. That's the precedent.
You know what? This is what.
What is really like, bro? But
This is what I have
bulletproof.
To be honest with you, this is what I have gathered from Pee Wee's defense of the ill practices, right? The what
So you think I'm defending? Or I'm
Let me what I'm thinking of here is the legal corruption is because of Pee Wee aspiration. Pee Wee's looking at it. He doesn't want to fall in the trap of the likes of Darius DeLong and others who promised the people what they could do, and then they fail miserably. So Pee Wee is trying to say, you know what? I'm going to keep myself distance of this because, again, I want to become the president. If I'm opportune to become that president, you can't hold me to my words of being just the regular average Joe president. And I can see where you're coming from. You're being a very smart politician in that regard. Yeah. So let me just close on this note, right? And I want to highlight the video that was just played. That video right there, I really wish President Boycott would just mimic every action in that video and have it apply for our people in Liberia.
I think it's a promotional video.
Why it is true that
everybody leaders to follow the example.
I've listened to that kind of video on a lot of countries. A lot.
Dr. Peabody, though, the reason why the Bible was written was to leave precedents so that people can follow those instructions. Propaganda once implemented accordingly.
The expensive car, that does should drive the car.
Yeah. I listened to that same voice on another presidential.
But people are the highest to be.
No, that's The voice is to highlight the failure of African leaders. And what we are saying here is, if and only if President Boycott could just apply those basic things, all right, make sure that he prioritizes healthcare, education, and other things as compared to his 52 years of marriage, and his wife is 52 years old, allegedly. I don't know how long.
And mind you now, the Martinics is very equipped with everything. Is equipped. Okay, people are not going to go fly. But right now in Liberia, anybody got taken Liberia now, you like to have a penal official.
Yes,
they're flying you to Ghana, South Africa, India. They're flying you there straight. But I bet you, let any layman in Liberia get sick now. They'll end up they get money. Let be frank, man. Put the money into
Liberia. Liberia has a history of electing bad people. That's why Liberia have a strength. Liberia has a strength. They took I hate to say this, took an old man who's way more than retired and made him the vision leader of the country. Do you expect anything to change? Do you expect Boycott to be that wise that he can even look at the different technology around the world and say, look, I want to make my country, Liberia, to become that.
He can do it.
I think I go around Boycott, he doesn't know what's going on.
Not there. It's not there. Let me frank.
But how you expect that old man to have vision, bro? The old man's old.
Because right now, guess what? The people, look, I saw the old man. I saw them to they say they're all having party, dancing, having fun, all the things they're doing. People there, they put on Facebook, they're celebrating. I mean, they're singing this. They say we are dancing the buka, but the woman dancing one. How do you call that one?
He dancing in retirement. That's what he's doing.
Okay, but dancing. Then you about let me frank, my people. The problem our country guy, we won't blink. We say, oh, the other did it. The other did it. And the problem guy, honest MPV. Like for instance, right now, do you know right now? You know the US government the reproach they have done to our country now. Do you know the amount of people our officials that have denied visa to? And not small people that are giving it to, the high people they're giving it denied visa. Why are they doing it for? Before in the past, you work in for a foreign ministry. What was the process? You don't even appear at the foreign ministry. The guys from the foreign ministry, they take your passport, send it to them, send it to the MRC for letter on it, they get a visa. But nowadays, they make our officials from the highest level to go and appear before the MRC. They don't respect you.
When it comes to this process, I have said time and again that it is based on how you're going to leverage yourself in these kind of processes. It is incumbent upon the government of the Republic of Liberia, clearly, to begin the process of a negotiating and try to leverage. And again, if you don't have anything to use as a foreign policy instrument, it's difficult here that people are going to hold you and stick you to being subjected to what they demand and what they're going to dictate that's going to afford. It's part of the process. I have said it the last time we said, when this current Minister of Foreign Affairs we have went for her confirmation, and I'm still going to hold her to it. I hope she's going to do some of those things. She intimated that she was going to push that the level of the visa they give. You remember, in the region, we are the only country now receiving at least a 1-year visa from the United States, if given. It's 1 year. Other countries been carried to a hard very large, some 2 years, 5 years, and the rest of that. It is important. Diplomacy is based on reciprocity.
Yes, but I agree. But listen now, there should be no reason why elected appointed official of government should be denied visa.
No, absolutely no reason. And yes, the government should protest that. The government should protest that and make protest that along to the State Department and justify their case. Why is this happening? A government of the Republic of Liberia, that's what they do. You remember there was a time the American government threatened to not give the Ghanaian government a visa, official visa, on the basis of them not allowing amount of Ghanaians that were expected to be deported back home. You need to leverage. There's more corrupt practices unfolding in Nigeria and other areas that's unfolding. But why is it the American cannot sanction the Nigerians? They won't. Because if you sanction them, Nigeria will not cooperate with you in terms of national security. So they won't do that to them. So we need to leverage our foreign policy instrument to allow them to cooperate or at least to open up some line. But we don't have nothing. But the day you see Liberia, and then regime Liberia will start talking to the Chinese or the Russian, then they will start cooperating with us. We're too scared, we're cowards.
The boys in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea, they're moving.
That's it.
They said
the government should leverage that with the
Americans. Jobs. They think the country, the citizens happy.
Yeah, the government can leverage that with the Americans.
Infrastructure
can improve.
They will come to the United Nations. They come here in September. The boys will come here in a military uniform. They'll come here.
Oh, they will come. They have to come.
They'll come and blast and go back. Take care.
They will come. They will come.
Our people, our leaders are having a problem. And then
our leaders are too scared. And that's why America
the citizens.
They're scared. They're not going to do the right thing. They say,
the citizens. They will go on your post and tell you, say, look at you very because they give you joy in government. The person in America, is the person better get enjoy the effects. Oh, the person in the greater country say the better get a job.
So America going to remain a great country, but you can tell America how you want to do things. They will listen to you. If the journalist that was killed and dismembered in Turkey, Khashoggi, right, and it was alleged that the crown prince of Saudi was involved into that process. American they condemned. Biden condemned. Trump condemned. What happened? Biden, the American government said, we'll not deal with the crown prince.
Biden went there.
Biden went there.
Okay.
Biden said he didn't stay here with a man. He get a man. What? Face front.
He did get a man for face.
Why? Because the people got serious in American need.
For example, look at Venezuela on Monday.
Yeah.
The election result were held, right? They got rigged the election. They got what America said. They said but they're afraid now. They can't talk about it. The man will say, I will hold my oil.
They will not talk more. They were so hard.
First of all, Pee Wee, you guys are asking for what is not even available to you. In order for you to even achieve an ounce of what you're stating here, you must have the courage. My former supervisor once said to me, he said, you dress up for the job you want, not the job you already have. You prepare yourself to find yourself where you want to be, not where you're at. The president or government officials we often elect to, public offices, they're not looking at how they can transform the country. You must be innovative to even think that you will challenge the United States to make them to submit to you. You must also think that you will be void of the local corrupt practices like what we are experiencing today or what we experienced yesterday with President George Weah and that of the current president, Joseph Boakai. You must put your people first in your mind, in your action. Your day-to-day activity must be an example. You should lead by example. Now, when you excel upon your ascendancy, you ignore the reality and play politic or party trick, I should call it. The reality is this: if you have a sincere president, someone who sincerely believes in transformation, we can stand up to the United States. But you know why we would never do that? Because vast majority of the people who have ascended to power, they are buffoons, they are thieves, they have no regard for the lives of innocent people. And that is the reason why they continuously ignore the reality on ground and submit themselves to the United States so that they are given handouts so they can steal from the people. Guys, I have another show to join on, but it was a great show tonight. You guys have such a wonderful night. I hope everything works well for Samuel Toy and other people. If they get incarcerated, well, we'll take food to them. Good night, guys.
Well, anyway, the other position open. I'm trying to say the poor. Anyway, look, it's been a great show, guys. I don't know what I'll be here Friday. Because I should be going to Rhode Island for a funeral, my cousin's funeral in Rhode Island. So, hopefully, I don't know where I'll be here Friday, but I'll be going to Rhode Island. I've been going to Rhode Island I've been there for 4 years. I'm going there for a funeral now. But anyway, the way I started from. My American journey started from Connecticut and Rhode Island and Pennsylvania. But that's how I've been. Wow. But anyway, Henry, I gotta check on you, said, but that's till after the show, yeah? Yeah, that's after the show.
All right, guys. Good
What
night.
do you say? What you say? You muted.
You muted yourself because of
The minister, I've been on the minister looking for job. Let me tell our wonderful audience, I'm not a job seeker, right? And listen, if you can find means to project things for yourself, you got a free mind and free thought process about what you want to do. I'm not a kind of an extraordinarily extravagant person. I'm in the middle. I strike the middle there and live life accordingly. I don't have to be a job seeker to come and speak up the reality. I have to balance facts. I went to school to learn to balance the facts, folks. So we all need to understand this. I'm not going to be moving because some of you people are very overly apprehensive about things. And the dogmatic thought process you highly share. I'm not going to share your dogmatic thinking. I'm going to be myself. I'm the Pee-wee from Lufa. And we do things, we do the way we do them. So basically, the discipline that was still in us, we're going to exhibit them accordingly. Have a very wonderful and good night, gentlemen.
Okay, Pee-wee. I'll see you guys. Thanks, man. I'll see you guys maybe on Friday. Okay.
I think there's all the time we have to be with you today on the closing argument here on the Renaissance Radio 96.1 Truth FM. That means many thanks to the team that Hot FM 107.9 for relaying this program. The team that Truth FM 96.9 in Nima County, Sakopie for also reading this program. All other affiliate radio stations for carrying the closing argument. Join us. That's going to be on Friday, at which time we're going to be here with another edition of the closing argument here on the Renaissance Radio. Has been up. Lone production here by the man here in Jada. We'll catch you. That's going to be on Friday. So many thanks to all of our panelists. Many thanks to all of our online viewers for following. So we join you. That's going to be on Friday. So certainly that's it. Play a low Friday 7 minutes. Let's go. Thank you. Saturday. A player knows this song. Come on, come on.